because this isn't the weird jerry-rigged system I have set up for Hunter, I have more screen space available so I can go check my channel really quickly. But we are live Alright, cool, it's on YouTube as well. Hello.
Hello.
Alright, Bone, talk about
All
your
right,
penis.
audience. All right, audience. So it's going to be, you can get the full measurement for free. No, not for free. You can get half the measurement for free, but you need the subscription for the full one. I will not explain further.
Yeah.
All right, now who else wants to talk about penis?
So I'm going to talk about something that's penis adjacent. I want to talk about another thing about Assassin's Creed. I was talking a little bit before the stream started. So I learned about this diegetically, and this is a thing that apparently a lot of the quote-unquote usual suspects have been talking
about. Diegetically?
You'll find out. I played the game, and I didn't hear about it through random nut jobs on Twitter.com.
Oh, okay.
So it's something that I didn't know about, and I only learned by playing as Yasuke in Assassin's Creed, is that Yasuke, unlike Noe, to my understanding, Noe being the female character in the game, can have romance options. And the thing about this that is specifically interesting, and I think is really funny to me, is that one of them is the first ever non-binary character in Assassin's Creed.
Holy shit!
Like, cool. It's so funny to me that it is just the perfect storm of things chuds would get mad at, because it's the first main character black man in an Assassin's Creed
game.
First. Okay, one of the first. No, he's not the first. One of the playable black men. That's right. There's a guy in Freedom Cry, and I'm not sure if the Egyptians.
No, it's Liberation. He plays a black woman.
But isn't she Native American or is she black?
No, she's black. She's one of the. She was like a freed slave.
She is one of. Okay, so. The third playable black man, or the third playable black main character.
Are they black in Origins?
There's a standalone DLC for 4 called Liberation Cry or Freedom Cry or whatever it is. Yeah, where you also play as I believe an ex-slave.
Adewale.
Mm-hmm. Actually, no, come to think of it, wow, there's like 3. Yeah, no, all 3 of the playable black characters are ex-slaves.
Holy shit. What color? Wait, are they Origins? Are they like Middle Eastern looking, or are they black?
Origin is in Egypt, so I don't know.
We get all sorts of people there.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, anyways, it's just like this like highly contested, for stupid reasons, mind you, highly contested black main character gets a romance option for the first ever non-binary character in a game that takes place in feudal Japan.
How do they
I think
introduce
that's so funny.
How do they introduce like a non-binary character?
Literally, just you meet a character during a side quest. Everybody calls them they them, and nobody ever addresses it or talks about it in any meaningful way. Just okay, this person's non-binary.
Okay. I guess.
Yeah, no, like there isn't really anything like specific behind it. Just like, no, that's a they them, all right. It's great. You're turning this Chudjack into Mr. King of the Hill right there.
What does it say? Something from memory?
Chudjack from memory.
I don't know. Like I feel like you're gonna have a non-binary character. There should be like something to the character about it.
They're a very cool. They're kind of like a poet type person. They have like very like flowery language. They're a cool samurai, that kind of stuff.
Something I want to point out is I've meant to post this on social media, but I forgot to. Was something I worked on. Was I decided that those Guilty Gear Strive balls had like someone made a transparent version, so I did some coloring on them. However, there was one that has some, there's one of these that don't belong.
And some Mr. Invincible.
There was a variation that I'll probably hold off on doing where I added a couple more who don't belong.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think when it comes to Assassin's Creed Shadows, like, there were some things I would say are actually, like, legitimate, like, I don't really like this, but, like, in that even I was on board for, but it's like, I didn't go ballistic over it. Like how I felt like the cinematic trailer, so I only watched the I only
That's the
watched
joke,
like the
Ron.
first cinematic trailer and like barely any gameplay. Wait, the first cinematic trailer have like Yasuke like around the forest, or was that a different cinematic trailer?
I don't remember. I
Because
saw.
there's one where he's like being a sneaky dude, but he's like in a bunch of
Mhm.
trees, but he's in his like black and gold armor.
That's really funny because Yasuke is not a stealth character, like whatsoever.
Yeah, so it's like I either saw one cinematic trailer or I saw two. I'm like, I don't really like that they're like teaming the characters up. I think I would have preferred him be like an important side character because I like the idea of Assassin's Creed characters generally being fictional characters, like the hidden history. But and then I'm like, really? They're making him a sneaky character, which apparently seems like they didn't. So the cinematic trailers might have failed me on that point. But I mean, outside of it, that's like whatever.
I mean, not to poke holes at that, at least about the fictional, like the characters being like fictional, but it's like, you
That's
know
a
that like
matter of
I mean,
taste.
like outside of like Leonardo da Vinci being a side character, you know the final boss of the final boss of 2 is like Pope Francis VI.
Still an NPC.
I guess that's the one thing I know about Assassin's Creed 2 is like you throw hands with like the Pope, and
But yeah, it's like you can consider that like within the secret history. It just, well, I mean, Yasuke still fits within the secret history. Sorry for interrupting. It just, I like the idea of the protagonist being like fully original characters. But that's a personal taste.
I mean, you know, like credit
To
where
each
credit's
their
due.
own.
I think the thing is that they made a point to make him feel like not necessarily out of place, but he's not like an assassin. Like he plays like you're playing as like a somewhat accurate like fictionalization of a character, except for the parts when you do like cool anime finisher moves. Like I'm not exaggerating. People, there's an ability that I'm literally doing right now for Noe where she does like a million stab on somebody. Like just like slash, like time slows down, you just do slash, and then like the fucking thing ends.
I will say that was another thing with Shadows. I'm looking at how some like the stuff is going on. Like, okay, sure, I understand it. It's Assassin's Creed, but even then, some of this stuff is like very cartoony feeling to me for the setting. And again, that's a matter of personal taste. Like I last played Unity.
Mm-hmm. It is surprisingly tame considering that like a couple of the last ones like actually had you fighting like Anubis, God of the Dead, and all that stuff.
Wait, was that like I thought that was like an Animus like glitch thing or like
I don't know, but like there's also like to my understanding, Assassin's Creed Valhalla's like expansion actually has you fighting like Search the Fire Titan. Because it takes place in Ragnarok.
I think I remember hearing a thing about how it's like Animus glitches or something like that, or Pieces of Eden, something like that.
I mean, it's like honestly, it's like the Piece of Eden thing is always like, it's always kind of like the gotcha for like, what do you mean Assassin's Creed? It's historically accurate or whatever, and it's like.
I was never of that.
I don't think the ancient civilizations had magic apple-bottom genes that slowed down time or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, it's like I mean, there is like the glider thing, but I kind of just took that as like, you know, that's like within the weird realm of suspension of disbelief. But something about Assassin's Creed like 2 all the way up to Unity still had this grounded feeling. And then I'm looking at her. Noe? Yeah, I see her doing like the backwards grip, and I'm like, oh man, this is triggering a very specific type of nerd in me. Yeah, I'm sure other people like it. That's totally good. I'm not gonna judge them for it. It's just not my thing. Like whenever I saw the combat in like Assassin's Creed Greece Odyssey, and I see like the bad fate, like I don't even know if they were trying to be phalanx, but it's like supposed to be some battle going on between two different factions. And it's just like, it just kind of looks like a gang brawl.
This reminds me of like a post someone did. It was like Christopher Nolan was adapting the Odyssey, but they were using like the broom helmets, and somebody's like, most of the people viewing this are excited. All the history nerds just experience like 9/11 seeing those helmets.
Yes, AC, you don't understand how true that is.
It's alright. I think there's another one. It's like
with knowledge.
It was like check in on your local history nerd.
Apparent was like I don't even know if Napoleon was good. I heard it was also shit from normal people too.
I've heard it wasn't really the best.
Maybe
The
Genre was
bit where
Napoleon.
the bit where he shoots a cannon at the
Oh, they
pyramid
did
is
the
really funny
fucking-
though.
They did the fucking cannon nose thing.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, fuck off.
You know, that's right. Speaking of funny historical fiction, I learned something new today. Oh, not today, actually. It was yesterday.
What's that?
I'm not sure if any of you follow this. I believe he's like Russian and a Russian English speaker named like Warlockry on YouTube.
I think I do
Um,
actually.
Yeah, he has a very peculiar way of speaking. But recently, he was talking about like these two authors who also wrote for certain video games and things like that. But a big thing that he talked about that was not particularly discussed, that wasn't really brought up a lot. That isn't really brought up a lot when people talk about a specific genre that you'll know what I'm talking about in a second. Is a specific subgenre of Russian fiction in which glorifies Stalin kind of, but in a
I mean,
way
that sounds about right.
in a way where something really silly and stupid happens. Something to the akin of a Russian man being transported into the body of Joseph Stalin. Or alternatively, Darth Vader showing up.
Oh, I need to fucking watch that video. What the fuck
This-
happened?
I feel like I got lost. What?
This brand of fiction that I'm referring to is affectionately called Russian isekai, which is effectively a lot of like World War II-esque fan fiction of like what if this guy went back in time and became good Hitler, where he was
What if
trying to
Darth Vader
revert
showed
like
up
stop
in
Hitler
World War
from
II?
being bad, or like. Also, I'm not joking about the Darth Vader part. Like, Darth Vader, there's actually one where Darth Vader shows up to help in World War II.
That sounds pretty rad. I mean, you can't say that isn't kind of rad.
Wait a
Mhm.
minute. Wait a
Dark
minute.
Soul
Does
is
that
Star
mean-
Wars not based on World War II already?
I have a genuine question involving that now. Does that
I
mean
mean-
that the Empire would have sided with the USSR?
Yes, here it is.
I think that the Empire would have sided with themselves. I think they're their own thing.
The Soviet Union?
I
thought
feel like
you
the
guys
Empire showing up like World War II would be like another 7-hour war equivalent.
Mhm.
Like the entire Empire, or just the Emperor? Is it
The-
the Emperor and a couple stormtroopers? Like, how much Empire are we talking here? It
Not
was the
the-
Galactic Empire.
Not Mr.
also
Palpatine himself, but at least like 2 Star Destroyers worth of people.
2 Star Destroyers, 2 small moons.
Yeah, as I say, it would be a 7-hour war situation where at most we would have 7 hours before they won.
Oh yeah.
That's
Wait
what
a
that's what
minute,
I meant.
Doesn't that also mean that humans would also have the potential to develop midi-chlorians?
No.
Oh jeez. Wait a minute. There's Russian isekai where a soldier killed during the war in Donbass in 2014 dies and gets resurrected in World War II as a bee.
Oh.
A bee?
Also, I
A
guess,
bee.
also, I guess
A
you could
Welcome
get.
back, B movie.
Also, I guess if they did breed, you could get midichlorians in a normal human. But if it's like they teleported and there's no force connection, it's not gonna matter.
Here's former Spetsnaz soldiers are incarnated Elf Peaceful Village by utilizing knowledge and skills of combat experience and active in the story there is. Oh yeah, there's the Putin isekai. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This is a
Oh,
wild.
Oh my
genre.
god, this picture kind of goes hard.
Yeah.
Hang on, I need
I-
to see this.
I'm tempted to wonder if that's AI, but it's probably not.
Nah,
No, it's
this is real Russian isekai.
For the audience, it's a Stalin in a black cloak holding a very fantasy power metal sword with the sickle and hammer.
Here's the
Also,
thing.
there's a pentagram in the background. I just noticed with the dragons.
Okay, that kind of does count.
I think this is Photoshop. That face of Stalin is a real existing one.
Oh, that would make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I think they just made this and photoshopped Stalin's like face onto it.
Oh yeah,
AC,
here's the here's the one where a Russian reincarnates into Hitler.
Actually, AC, did in the World of Darkness, did Lenin do anything after like he became like turned into essentially a modern mummy, as he is preserved to this day as a 100-year-old corpse?
I don't know if there's anything with Lenin. The only thing I can think of that's like around that time period is I know Heinrich Himmler is canonically a vampire.
Okay, but like, did Lenin never come back to life? Because he's essentially a real life mummy, like a modern version of a mummy.
I'm unsure how Lenin's doing.
Instead of bandages, it's like formaldehyde.
That fucking Simpsons bit where Lennon comes out of his grave. Or his coffin, rather.
Oh god.
His
that's-
open coffin that you can visit. Not open, but it's like glass case.
I was so like that weird groaning noise. I remember I was playing a while ago Skyrim with like a mod called Immersive Sounds that adds a bunch of sounds to places. And I was in a bar and I realized those motherfuckers snuck a sound in that has a rare chance of playing when you're in the bars. Ah, the French wine. Like I heard that in the corner of like my audio, not my field of vision, but my field of hearing. Like the corner of my right ear, and I thought I was like losing my mind.
That's a very specific genre of goofy thing I wish more games would embrace. That Battlefield Hardline had, if you remember, where like you have like an extremely rare chance of getting a funny reload animation with certain weapons. Like one of my favorites is when you reload your AK and a guy behind you hands you a magazine to reload with. There's nobody actually behind you.
I appreciate the entire genre of content that's people making high quality, funny reload animations. Like the guy that shoots the double barrel shotgun, then pops it open, and it's 2 shotgun casings that are the size of the barrel.
Yeah, by fucking Hyper. Yeah, that guy fucking worked on Titanfall 2 and a couple other games, I think.
I wouldn't be shocked.
Now, yeah, if you go to his YouTube channel, there's also, like, I think he did the real animations for the L-Star and things like that. But, no, yeah, I think that more games need to have goofy and whimsy stuff. Like, I think it's like, I genuinely feel that in all video games, there should be a 3% chance in most cutscenes of like a blooper getting snuck in.
Like that one bit, the dude gets shot in his legs in Call of Duty, and it's a shout out to that one Jim Carrey film.
Sure.
I was thinking more like either the one Halo skull that enables like rare dialogue, or the that one edit somebody did of the entirety of 1997's Berserk anime, or there's like a blooper or 2 snuck in.
Do you want to making fuck Berserker? Alright, which one of you is gonna jerk me off?
Yeah! I want to go talk to Goku in the...
You did well, Goku. Alright, let's hear it for the let's hear it for the Nox Daggerty the Babagaratsu. Ah, fuck it, let's hear it for Captain Guts! Yeah.
Those bloopers are a treat.
Are they actually bloopers, or are they just them fucking around on mic?
I mean, it's possible. See, like, what
Yes.
usually happens is that it's like, well, yes, but also it's like, it's when you fuck up the take, and then you just kind of decide to keep going. Or like, if your timing's a bit off, it's like, well, this take's already fucked, so I might as well say something funny on my mind.
I remember in the game
Yeah.
Star Wars Bounty Hunter, they actually had, like, in the extras, they animated a lot of the bloopers. So you have, like, Tamora Morrison's, like, blooper voice lines animated to Jango Fett's model.
That's when you have extra fun with your bloopers.
I think Toy Story also did that, didn't they? Animated bloopers.
Mhm.
Yes. And they also just went ahead and did a lot of fun extra stuff like that for making false bloopers.
Oh, I think
If
it
I
was
remember correctly-
Bugs
if I
Life.
remember correct- yeah, they did that for A Bug's Life. They did that for Toy Story 2. They did that for. I don't think they did that for Cars. It was a lot of Pixar films. The crazy part is though they had to censor one of the bloopers where Stinky Pete is just talking with a couple Barbies backstage whenever the Woody turns his box around, because after the John Lasseter stuff they had to cut that out.
Oh, I don't know who that is.
John Lasseter?
Yeah, who's that?
He's the dude who usually writes most of the good Pixar films.
Did something happen with him?
Sexual allegations.
Oh no! Were
Okay.
they just allegations, or were they like? Was this a thing in court? I tend to find
do
these
not
things
know.
important.
I do not know. All I know is they had to edit out that prospector not Prospector Pete, Stinky Pete bit where he's talking with the Barbie girls and saying, if you girls want to come and have a coffee with me, I can get you in Toy Story 3.
Uh,
Now, you know
That's
what?
something.
They had to get rid of that.
yeah. I was like, can't
Here,
believe I
Bobby's-
can't believe my
Sorry, you go.
boy Skinny Pete would say such a thing.
Stinky Pete.
All right, Bobby. How about you go sit on this couch where we can talk? That's not what he sounds like.
Listen. If Kevin Spacey can get away with it, so can I.
Oh my god.
So he, regardless of what,
Monsters Inc. That's it. That was the other one that did the bloopers. It was Monsters Inc.
so as far as I can tell, at the moment these are still allegations. He did leave Disney. I believe he's now working at something else, or somewhere else rather.
Hmm.
So as far as anybody knows, we still don't know if he did any of those things. But but generally, I don't really think people would suddenly decide to ruin somebody's life without any particularly good reason, or they have like a weird, crazy vendetta against them.
I mean, vendettas happen. Then you also have
True.
like court settlement monies, stuff kind of
Mhm.
thing you could try getting.
Yeah.
Like there are reasons people have.
I heard he's working at Little St. James Studios now.
Oh wait, hold up. In a statement, Lasseter said, "I have spent the last years away from the industry in deep reflection, learning how my actions unintentionally made colleagues uncomfortable, which I deeply regret and apologize for. It has been humbling, but I believe it will make me a better leader." So no, yeah, so at the very least, he admits that he did something.
He
that made
admits to
people uncomfortable.
something. It's like that could be that could be like, oh, maybe he did bad like cruel jokes without realizing.
Maybe
Or
he
it could
killed a
be-
guy.
Or maybe he could have punched a pregnant woman. I don't know.
It really made people uncomfortable when I killed that guy live in front of a studio audience.
Maybe
Yeah.
it'd just be funny to steal some lady's breast milk in the refrigerator.
Oh,
Grums
no.
was wild
Not
for
the-
that one.
Not the act. Not
Was it
the
actually
Activision.
Grums?
No, people just say that was the most likely candidate.
Oh,
I can't fucking stand Grums.
I mean, I that's a healthy thing to not be able to stand.
Also, I'm glad only Khan caught on to that joke I made for his current workplace.
Mhm.
Of me dropping the Little St. James Studios and only Khan going, wait, what the fuck?
I don't have frame of reference here.
That's what
What the
Epstein's
hell?
Island is called. Little St. James Island.
Oh, I see. Where they make the non-woke video games.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Oh, for woke.
Ah.
I'm really just of the opinion that people don't even understand what the hell that word means.
They
anymore.
don't. They don't
The
know what
answer
it
is The answer is it's whatever they don't like because they think it's ruining America or something.
And like
Oh,
5% like hate it and know what it means, and those guys are a problem.
I used to
Mm.
make before we were in this Discord, when we were in the other Discord, like I used to make the joke of, man, I wish I could be oppressed. I wish I could have a parade. I wish I could have people celebrate me. But these people like actually want that. They
Mhm.
actually feel like they're oppressed. No, it's not even that they want it. It's just they don't just want to be oppressed. They think they are.
It's so funny because it's like, oh no, gay people are pushing their agenda on us by existing, but because they have Gay Pride Month, and there's also that Women's Month, and it's like, yeah, those exist because women and LGBT individuals have been a marginalized group and have suffered and had issues. That's also the reason why there is a Black History Month.
But I
These
have
are
issues too. I have issues too. Look at the statistics. Look at how many white neurotypical people kill themselves. Look at it.
The way I see it, if you feel that those are a problem to you, then why don't you follow the advice that you give us and just turn around and walk away in the first place instead of raising a stink?
I think it's
Or
so
follow
funny
your
that those-
leader. That works too.
They're special little snowflakes.
It's so funny because it's like, gee, you guys need to have a thicker skin about this stuff. Hey, don't make fun of me by calling me cis. I'm normal. It's like, get the fuck away from me. Ew.
Exactly. It just
It's
feels
like the-
hypocritical in general. You spent decades, at least, telling us what we could and couldn't say. Now you want to do the same thing to us.
Now this is where they go. Well, I didn't say anything. I just don't think that it should be forced on us.
Well,
But does that mean then why are you forcing it on me?
I'm not. I'm not.
I don't think it
it's-
should be.
You're not gonna
I don't-
rationalize with these people.
Yeah, no, that's the unfortunate problem is that hate is a constant and within like that is bred within irrationality. They
And
don't
sometimes-
have beliefs that make sense.
And sometimes I don't think it's like just inherently hate. I think it's like a genuine like a brain worm that they were like brainwashed into of thinking like there actually is a conspiracy out to get them.
Hmm.
It's
I'm
like
actually of the
how,
mentality at this point that we are living in a gigantic countrywide cult at this point.
I mean, yeah, I like half the country. It's like a
Mhm.
bad fan fiction.
A little bit, yeah.
You see, it's
uh,
it's this idea of like, well, here, hold on a second, really. Let me just get this out really quickly. I think it's this like it's this idea of like, well, I mean, things are becoming more worse visibly because media and a constant string of news and all this other stuff and people pointing it out and it just kind of being like an omnipresent thing. But I mean, naturally, it's not the fault of the existing system. No, it's because of all this new stuff. Because I lived through that existing system and everything was fine during then.
Back in the good old days where everything was good and nothing bad ever happened.
back when all the bad stuff
Yeah.
was my parents' problem and not mine.
Back when all the bad stuff was just experienced by other people.
Look at me, I had 100,000 milligrams lead poisoning, and I turned out great!
You see, things were good when those other people were suffering, so we should really get back to that.
We should just blow up the internet so I don't have to hear about any of the bad things happening anymore, except what's going on in my local newspaper.
But
That take that
No.
Justin just said, but say that in a more, but say the. You know what's funny is I've heard that point also, but wokely too.
You guys would die from dopamine withdrawal if you guys lost the internet.
Here's the
I mean,
thing.
I think I'd probably adjust.
I would adjust, but if it was drawing, if I lost my ability to draw, I think I would actually like die.
Same here.
That
Pick up a pencil.
Artistic expression.
No, I
is
mean
one
if
of
I
the
just
things
lost
that-
my ability to draw wholesale, like digitally, I'd pick up a pencil, pick up an ink,
Now,
I'd start getting to work. But if I lost the ability to draw in general, it's like you can't draw, you can't make art anymore. I'm like, oh, I'm just dead. I'm
I'm
gone.
with AC on this one. Speaking as somebody who's actually gone and gotten a minor in art and have been drawing my whole life, if I lost the ability to draw and create and do anything that I like, then I would be miserable.
I hate that. Like, I twitched whenever you got a minor.
I was gonna say, I was holding it in. I was just like, no, I'm not.
Like the way that it was said, it made me look at the screen for a second.
Why are you
Me-
guys
me-
so weird?
Me and AC
God, I'm
going
high, and
through, me
the
and AC
internet
going
poisoned
through
me.
dopamine
You're
withdrawal
high right
during
now?
I'm
me
high.
and AC going through dopamine withdrawal during the 10th day after the EMP blast. So I decided to make us both miserable by cutting off AC's hands finger by finger with a bone
How
saw.
high are
I'm not high. I'm just high on life, baby. Woo!
I'm not a big fan of
I
that
took,
game,
like,
actually.
how am I going to measure how? Okay, I'm not in like a different dimension as of right now.
Well, no, I'm gonna assume that you probably popped a gummy or something.
I mean, I popped a little bit of gummy. Like, I don't take the full gummy. These are pretty strong. It's usually like it takes small chunks off the gummy.
Hmm.
You know, that's right. Speaking of weed and other associated side effects, I started watching Common Side Effects.
I watched the
That,
first episode of that. I need to watch the rest of it.
It's-
I have not heard
It's
of
a-
the show. Tell me about common side effects.
It is a very cool little show about a guy who finds an unbelievably rare mushroom that can cure functionally any ailment. And like the example that he provides within the first episode is him snapping the head of a pigeon, and then he sprinkles a little bit of it into the pigeon's mouth, and then the pigeon comes back to life.
It's quite an ailment, solving death.
That is quite the image.
What is a common side
Um,
effect of it?
That's the thing. There doesn't seem to be one at the moment. But like going throughout it, you have him desperately trying to plant more of and like figure out how he's gonna like give it to the world because he's genuinely altruistic and like a nice person. And then you have his friend that he meets from high school, who happens to be the assistant to the CEO of a pharmaceutical corporation. And the CEO's like constantly telling her, hey, like, we're super fucked unless we can like figure something out. So she's trying to make it so that it can be like sold and brought into the public, while also on the third more evil end, the DEA and actually genuinely them, like Big Pharma, is trying to kill him and stop him from using the magic mushrooms.
Ah, the Illuminati.
Also, there's like a slight implication that like the drug has like a connection to like the natural universe, which is why it can cure death.
This is an implication.
Like, I mean, like it's a lot of it is through like the crazy high visuals, but it's like people experience the high together, and it's like they're transported somewhere else, like spiritually.
Is this a comedy or a drama?
It's not a comedy. It's actually played fairly straightforward. There's
I
some
was
bits
thinking
that
this
are
was
like.
gonna be a comedy drama.
Hey, Bone, have you heard of Scavenger's Reign?
I have.
Animated by them, made by them.
Yeah.
Mike Judge is doing a lot of the writing.
Yeah, the fun part is that Mike Judge, i.e., Hank Hill and Beavis/Butthead,
And
Yeah,
all
he
is
those
was,
things.
also involved with a lot of the work.
Huh. Well, that makes it actually more ironic, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
That just reminds me of a YouTube short I saw once. For a while, I kind of deep dove into disturbing YouTube videos.
As one does.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, more or less. I forget who made it, but there was a video called The Cream, and it did exactly what you were talking about.
The
Sort of
cream?
because
Like,
it's
call me the
Cream.
cream.
It's sort of like the facial cream that started to benefit and heal people all over, and soon it was bringing the dead back to life, changing personalities,
Oh yeah, that.
and it was just being incredibly awesome, like this amazing cure-all.
The
And then Big
necromantic
Pharma and
oil.
everybody Big Pharma and everybody making money against the misery of humanity was just like, nope, nope, nope. Like sequentially, those were the only words that they actually ever spoke, was just nope. So they released a ton of propaganda against the cream, saying it was bad for you, saying it was terrible, that it was made from babies.
I mean, this stuff raises the dead, you said?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is kind of scary. To be fair, I feel like you can propagandize off of that.
I mean, you know, I can kind of get it. Like, I think if the limitation is like they didn't die of if they didn't die of like natural causes, I can get having it be the cure to that. But it's like we can just fucking resurrect people. Like, I could see that being a bit of a problem.
Is that Majin Buu, AC?
They
Yeah, sure.
they call him the Cream.
Oh,
Fuck, it's the
Mhm.
but
Boo really hates you.
it's very cute.
the let me actually
I was like wondering, are you drawing like a Buddha?
also
forget
I've
what
been
Or,
stuck
I
on.
think I found
There goes
sorry.
my idea. I was gonna say, I've been, this is idea that's been stuck in my head for a very long while, and I've been drawing little bits and pieces of it every now and then, just to kind of think about it. But the project little nickname that I thought of for it was like Y2K Souls. Like, it's like a Souls game, but instead of like being in like medieval time or the future, it's like set in like the 2000s.
You see, who is this bat going into the head of?
Various enemies, but this guy was a boss I thought of on the spot.
The Bone Abomination.
Bone Abomination. It's a giant like it's a giant like spinal cord with this like skull and like moving ribs. So I imagine it being like a mixture of like a worm and gaping dragon when it comes to how
Isn't
it
that
controls.
isn't there like bone enemies that are like just like a tower of ribs or something in Dark Souls? Or am I crazy?
That is the motherfucker that hates chocolate from SpongeBob.
Wait,
Fuck.
the guy that hates chocolate or loves chocolate?
I always hated it.
Oh, the worm lady.
I picked a bad time to get a drink juice.
Oh, chocolate. I always hated it. Why did that old woman hate chocolate again? Did she say?
good reason. She just hates it.
Oh, I thought she said it was like something about her traumatic past or something.
If Majin Buu showed up, we have the chance to do the most funniest but fucked up thing ever. Wait, so.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I know exactly where you're going with that, and that's funny and fucked up.
I wonder if that creature ever made a reappearance in SpongeBob. I feel like that's the type of character that would, like 8 seasons later.
No, they never did.
They made an
really did.
entire episode around the My Leg guy.
Yeah, but they never brought back Mary and her mother.
That was their names?
Yeah, it was just Mary and her mother. That's
You
it.
remembered that?
I
Wow.
remember a lot of things, dude.
Apparently.
That's the
Uh,
vibe I'm getting.
There's a lot of things I'd rather forget in life.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
I've been.
That's neat.
was-
Lighting.
I was stuck on this idea for a while. I even came up with a mock-up character creator for it.
Did you do that shading manually, or is that like part of the 3D modeling? thing?
It's weird. You can you can do it through a filter on the model. I only recently discovered this.
Did you do that?
I discovered the filter thingy, and I only just did for making this, but
Cool looking.
yeah, thank you. But what I did was the idea was I came up with the idea of classes, but I separated them by like non-magic and magic.
What is hemomancer? Is that blood?
Blood magic.
A hemomancer.
Uh,
Mm.
I'm gonna transfer the wrong blood type into your veins.
the idea was janitor was basically the deprived equivalent. Like it would come with like your janitor suit and like a broken off like mop handle.
Wouldn't it be like a homeless person?
I thought about it later and I kind of went, yeah, I think homeless would be
Or
the
junkie?
junkie would be the
Like a janitor, he's got a weapon.
uh,
He's got skills.
I mean, deprived also has a giant ass like wooden club. That's a good weapon.
Yeah, but that'd be like your homeless person's like broken alcohol bottle or something.
That would be probably more fitting. Oh wait, oopsies. That's something on accident. Anyway, the other thing I had was when it comes to the Jander was that, and of course there's Bruiser. That's your melee marksman, self-explanatory. Comes with your ranged stuff. Thief,
Would Bruiser be MMA?
no, Bruiser's more of like they just have like heavy hitting stuff. The more martial arts heavy one would be the Boxer class, which comes with boxing gloves. Yes,
fuck.
and my Souls game, you can use fist weapons from minute 1.
Oh fuck, guys! I forgot. I still had some Kit Kat left. Fuck yeah!
Also,
Bruisers. Does that mean they also have the capacity to use their legs?
I mean, there's a kick system everybody gets where like it's a little kick button.
Wait, a whole kick system?
The
I'm
kick
down with
system.
It was a flubbing of words, but I think one thing I wanted to have was also like maybe something that lets you do a drop kick. Because I thought that would be fun. Because I think that'd be a fun idea.
I fucks with that.
Honestly, something that I wish more games would maybe lean into is specifically the kind of combat that they had in that one Resident Evil 7 DLC, where you play as the Bayou Man and you fucking punch the shit out of monsters. There needs to be more like Souls-likes, where it's like you're just a crazy guy who's just going up against everything with your fists, and you have to like dodge in first person and all that shit.
Also,
I feel
like,
like
I
feel
don't-
like
John does
Marksman
not
should
know
be
what I'm
Red
talking
Dead.
about in regards to the Bayou Man.
Yeah, first person
I
Dark
was
Souls
a-
punch out. Let's do it.
I was gonna say, the Boxer would be that. The Thief is more of like he has like they have like tools and like yeah, I'd imagine I'd probably take a bit from Elden Ring's stealth system, but enhance it a bit with some like stealth tools and all that. But I would say where I kind of went more in depth with my ideas when it comes to like custom things was probably the magic ones. Sorcerer, you know, that's your Shadow Wizard Money Gang kind of guy.
Oh boy.
Spy
Yeah.
is a stealthy spellcaster. My idea was that they would get like a muffle spell, and they would get like a they would get a muffle spell, and they would get like a what's the other spell again? Fuck, I forgot. No, it was a distraction. It was a distraction one where they can lure enemies to a certain point by playing a noise at distance and getting their backstabs in. They're the more overtly like assassin-like playstyle.
I'll be honest. I thought when you said spy that you said buy, and I assumed that meant that there would effectively be like there would be a sexuality selection system that would impact your stats or playstyle in some capacity.
AC question. Are you doing fun? Would you do funny names for these, or would you do these as traditional names?
For funnier traditional names for what?
For your classes.
I'd probably do like names that are like distinct, but maybe kind of funny depending, because
Because I was thinking like sorcerer can be environmentalist.
I feel
Or
like I'd probably
a
just
s-
call him wizard outright.
A spy could be your CIA equivalent, the SIA or something, Special Intelligence Agency.
Mutant was a class initial I had for the entirely custom magic system that for some reason I thought of. Not magic system, but custom magic tree, which is mutations, which are simply spells that you would use to alter your body. Werewolf claws, tendrils, maybe like an eagle eye, or like it fucks with your eyes and you get like more accurate for a moment.
AC, what do these environments look like? What do the level designs look like?
My idea was that I was going to have like the Firelink Shrine equivalent would be a hotel. There would be at least a skyscraper rooftop segment, a grocery store level, did I mention a library? Old ass library?
Well, we know now.
Old ass library, sewers, which I think was where I would have this bone abomination be at the end at. You know, stuff like that, like out in like the city was like an idea. And like maybe the first level before you get to the hotel is a construction site that's like overrun. Like I'm thinking like you're going through all the unfinished like scaffolding, and let me try to just
Is magic real in this world?
yes, very.
Okay.
I guess like I never thought of like when, but I think of like the idea was like magic is like although rare in this specific area for reasons it became like super common.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if we were going like the Yakuza route to magic or if we were going like actual urban fantasy.
I was thinking more like urban fantasy for like this setting. But it was more of like magic hasn't really been a thing anywhere else. So people have come to congregate here because it's a newer phenomenon. And that's why you have the travelers from across the different areas coming to this weird fucked up area that's overrun with all sorts of shit.
Oh, so magic is not mundane in this world.
Magic was something that's like, oh, there's like magic shit going on over here. And all the NPCs that are like normal humans or quote unquote normal are people that are like, oh shit, magic's happening. I'm gonna go check this out. Other ideas I had was let's say I heard the dog, but anyway. Let's see, I'm trying to think of other was like the whole scaffolding, whatnot, the hotel. I don't know what the fuck happened, but the dog barked and it like threw off my like thought process for like half a second. But
It happens.
I guess like an idea. That's one of my original drawing of my original character there. Unrelated to this. Is that like I would want it to be more on like a modern setting, and I would have weapons be because my approach to weapons is like your first starter melee would be like a lead pipe for like some depending on like your class and that kind of shit, and maybe having influences of Dead Rising in the arsenal. A big thing that was driving me to think about this is when it comes to Souls games, everyone's done at least a sci-fi setting, right? Like the Surge and shit.
I only know the Surge. I don't know any others.
Yeah, no one. I can't think of anybody who's done like a modern setting Souls game where you pull out when you're in your like band t-shirt and cargo shorts, running around with like a baseball bat beating the undead.
I would say that's not really a common, like modern era stuff, unless it's like relatively contemporary subjects, for lack of better words. I would say it doesn't really happen that often. Like I don't tend to see like urban fantasy that often, oddly enough, unless it's something that's not traditional fantasy. You know, like Devil May Cry is technically fantasy in a
The best to
modern
ever
setting.
do it. The best to ever do it was Earthbound, because that was the modern fantasy.
Yeah, I guess so a little bit. Although I didn't play it, I've seen bits of it.
I mean, especially
Like, you have psychic powers, you're beating up weird guys with baseball bats and shit. The only
Now, I have
difference
a
is that it's
question.
not really modern anymore.
Are psychic powers more of a science-based thing, like a pseudo-science, of course, or is it more of a fantasy magic thing?
depends on the
Well, I mean,
setting.
Yeah. Not to mention you have like that kind of like common law explanation that a lot of people like to run with, where it's like, you know, magic is just science that hasn't been explained yet, or something along those lines.
Like the thing is, like mutants from X-Men.
Mhm.
If like Charles Xavier, is that magic or is that science?
I mean, what I see, like, I think the thing is that it's like, you have to kind of like break, because like here's the thing, right? All superhero abilities are in some way, shape, or form magic in like in a meaningful capacity. Because like you can come up with like funny excuses all you want to like how fucking certain people got rubber power, spider power, so on and so forth. It's just the genre of how they got that magic power that makes the difference.
Yeah, but I feel like
Peter got the spider bite, and thus he gains science magic. They went through space and got solar radiation, so that's science magic. Magic got magic because she was a mutant in hell, but she's also a mutant, so I guess also kind of like genetic magic.
yeah, like that's the thing. It's like, okay, or do we count it as science magic where they wouldn't call it magic because magic, like traditional magic, exists in that setting?
Mm-hmm.
Or is that just normal magic? And maybe there's some expanded universe thing, I don't know, that says, yeah, it's all magic or something, but outside of that. Like, because, like, you look at Star Wars is just straight up magic. Like, there is a ethereal force called the Force. The midichlorians are not the Force, they just help communicate with it. So it's like, that is magic. I wouldn't even call that science magic.
That reminds me of a couple things. Number one, Dorohedoro is actually a great example of magic just being like inherently magic, and how that's just a problem for everybody. I recommend that on the principle that Dorohedoro is also just very good in general. But the bigger thing is that I had a fun idea for like building off of that thing where it's like it's a punch out Souls-like type thing. I'm imagining a system where it's like, what if that was like the core aspect, and it's like modern day, and they're just, hey, so like someone just discovered magic, like flat out, like just unexplainable, non-scientific hoo-ha. It's just there, it exists, and guess what? It's free to the public. You just gotta go into this big hole and get it, and you decide to go do that along with like hundreds of other people, and you have to just fight your way through it. Everybody has like goofy magic powers, and like you get like cool ones that are related to your fists. Like imagine if you had like a fucking grapple that was like you get spawning a tentacle and shit.
I was thinking like for like how magic was really introduced in my modern setting, it was also more of like a resonance cascade happened in the middle of like a big city, like New York sized, and it's like somebody was fucking around with some shit that they weren't supposed to, and now the city is overrun with the undead, like, and demons, sometimes vampire demon even.
Oh no, not those ones. Not the vampire demons.
There's also different magic system and whatnot. An idea I had, though I was unsure if I'd really want to add verticality of it because it'd probably change the system too drastically, was for a mutation spell being grasshopper legs.
Both of these both of Justin's idea and your idea kind of remind me of macadamia a little bit.
There's a bit, but I was thinking like with like my setting, when it gets discovered, like the city is one of those things where like everybody who was originally, most people who were originally living in the city, dead, or either undead or gone. There's only a few original stragglers, and they got the brunt of the magical bullshit, so they're the boss fights.
I'm currently working through another setting that I've been thinking of, that I want to be the setting for my Monster of the Week campaign that I'm planning on running at some point in the future. It is effectively the entire like the part of the United States that is commonly referred to as the Rust Belt, just like a line across the country, effectively, of just like failed industry, and it's just kind of like boring and lame. And at some point, for no real discernible reason, a bit of the moon like chunked off and just kind of like burrowed its way as a horizontal line across the Rust Belt, and just kind of like dug into the earth effectively, Lots of people's houses got fucked up and other random shit. But believe it or not, that itself was not the magic. Turns out there was actually just like rich deposits of this magic like material that I'm currently calling chrysanthemum. That's a term that I've wanted to use for like magic materials
That's
for a
cool
hot
name.
minute. Yeah, and it's like, hey, so because we now have actual like honest to god magic power, the Rust Belt is just gonna become like an autonomous zone effectively, and good luck trying to stop us. So there's like a big like a border that's set up, and there's a whole thing about like how, okay, so we want to like reinvest entirely into this because we can make like we can become like the wealthiest part of America if we just do that. So like tons of like local and state budget is like reinvested into into like education, into housing, and like all this kind of stuff. So like effectively like that cyberpunk future that most places dreamed of happening around this time period would be then. Like it would be happening now effectively. And like people are well educated, there's a lot of good technology and that kind of stuff, and there's like crazy magic bullshit, and there's augments and all that fun business. But the big thing is that because of that, they removed all money. They effectively, like, the police force basically got no money, which is unheard of for America if you live in America.
Isn't the Rust Belt pretty conservative?
I mean, not all of it.
I don't think they're like particularly progressive.
This is a fantasy, anyways.
Fair enough.
One parallel to it.
But this also comes with the added side effect of, okay, so we have decided to privatize police care. So what that means is that you can now incorporate as effectively a mercenary group. It means that companies are now allowed to keep their own private security and also enforce themselves as police, and now only the rich and powerful can afford the police.
Didn't you say they like went past money? Didn't you say they stopped using money?
No, they still use money. They still use money.
Okay, I thought I heard.
It's just that they became really wealthy because they were able to hyper monetize the cool magical rock that came from the earth.
Okay, then I don't know why I thought you said that they stopped using money.
At some point or another, they figured out like various ways to kind of utilize chrysanthemum in such a way where like it could effectively just like modify the human genome. My favorite plot point that I like to rip a little bit from Cyberpunk from Valhalla is like injecting yourself with like weird animal genes, and then that cures like various like degenerative or just like flat out like terminal illnesses, but you become a little bit of a furry. I like to implement that one because it makes there's a little bit more diversity in like the general set of people, so to speak.
It's very important we get the furries in.
I mean, there's also like dragon people and that kind of, well, not literally dragon people. But,
they're all the same to me.
But a big part of that was I had an idea for like kind of like a sub story within that setting of a character just kind of like waking up one day after their only memory they have of is getting like effectively shot in the head, and they wake up in a chop shop, and their arm, they have two memories: getting shot in the head and then having their left arm cut off. And then they wake up in a chop shop, and then they have like a weird like biomutant left arm, and their bullet hole in their head has been healed effectively. And it's like this weird thing that's like an amalgamate of like teeth and like sludge and all sorts of weird stuff, and they can kind of like move throughout their body, and it can like do biomorphing and shit. I was gonna call it Chatterhead or something along those lines.
Are you making Spider-Man?
No.
He is making. It looks a bit like Spider-Man. I was also thinking Spawn, maybe.
The original, I think, although I need to make it a little bit clear, it's still in the sketch phase. The original intent was my version, or at least how I thought Absolute Bane was going to be.
I see.
Oh, did you think he was going to be skinny?
I thought he was gonna be like this weird skinny musculature kind of thing.
No, they just made him big.
They just made him larger than Batman.
They just made him big again. Like people were like, "Oh man, now he's super big." And I'm like, he was super big before. This just looks like Bane.
No, he's larger than Batman, who was also like big. Like Have you like his neck?
There have been depictions of Bane where he's bigger than Batman.
I mean like, have you seen absolute Batman in this setting?
I have seen absolute Batman, but I have not had a size comparison.
I will post the image here.
Okay, I would need Batman next to like a normal dude though to get like an idea of the size of the Batman.
Alright, let me try to find a specific.
Because if you're just comparing Batman to Bane's size, it's like, okay, yeah, I mentioned before that I've seen depiction of Bane where he's bigger than Batman. Isn't like the Batman's Bane, like the animated show, like stupid big?
I mean, they all are, but like the thing is, like, I'm trying to find a good size comparison, but absolute Batman is already a very large individual.
Oh man, I forgot how weird they made Bane look in the Batman. They made him red.
They made him like I always thought he was like that one four-armed like Ben 10 alien in that show.
Oh, forearms?
That's where they store all of his anger.
He looks like
Batman Brave and the Bold. He is significantly larger than Batman.
I'm sure there is a bunch of panels of him standing by people, but I can't fucking find any of them in Google. Because of course you asked me for a size comparison. Now Google is ensured that I will never fucking find that shit.
All right. He is apparently 6'6" is what I'm getting. Jesus, actually, I just looked at his thighs.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta say like the fact that you're saying Bane's been larger than him normally. I'm like, you have no idea. You have no fucking idea about this version of Batman. Like, his arms are like around this size of my whole torso.
Okay, I kind of see an image of him next to a person, but they're in like dynamic poses, so it's still kind of hard to tell, and they're like kind of slight distance.
Yeah, the long and short of what I was saying is that I just want a setting with biofreaks in it, you know? I want to do my own Parasite.
You don't want to make your own Biomutant game?
A little bit.
Like the game Biomutant?
You mean
No,
Biofreaks?
No, I'm talking about Biomutant.
No,
The thing with the red
Biomutant wasn't
panda.
Biomutant wasn't particularly good.
Yeah, just I was reminded of that, and I was like, man, nobody talks about fucking Biomutant.
Because I got that game, I played that game because I got it for like 49 cents because EA listed it for super cheap by accident. And I played it, and I think my main thing is that it was a painfully average, like, action third-person game, but also there was just a narrator that would not shut up.
Biomutants is the one where it has the mouse on the cover, right?
Yeah,
I remember Red
little
Panda.
Red panda thing, yeah. Little panda thing, yeah.
Is
Little
that-
trash panda.
I thought it was a mouse.
Trash Pandas are
It's something.
raccoons.
I'm back.
It looks very trash panda adjacent.
Yeah, I'm not like I thought it was a red panda.
Oh, what are you drawing there, AC?
My interpretation of what I thought
You have
Absolute
gay
Bane
sex. He's
was
drawing gay
going to
sex right now.
look like.
Oh, it's not a
Absolute
red
ball.
panda at all. It's just it's just its own kind of rodent
It's a little,
creature.
yeah, it's a little rodent.
I love
Wait, is
spots
Bone?
with the muscles and then start to draw in the bulk.
Wait, is Bone is Bane not gigantic
Yeah.
in Absolute Universe?
Apparently, he is significantly huge.
He is. This was my original what I thought he was gonna be before they showed him, which was that he would be like a weird, tall, skinny musculature.
Brick
Big enough
meat.
to where he could take
So-
a man, break his back over his knees.
Take a who?
Mhm.
The worms. The
Uh,
worms.
Let me see here. Let me draw the die.
Wait, Biomutant couldn't have come out in 2021, could it have?
Yeah, no, it did.
I thought that shit was like 2018.
Nah, it's not that old.
Oh, time is
Wait, which-
fucking weird.
which-
Wait, recent reviews very positive, all reviews mixed?
Which
Yeah,
game?
it's not.
What game?
Biomutant.
Biomutant.
Biomutant. Never heard of that.
Yeah? Yeah, I'm not surprised.
think that kind of just sums it up.
This is also
Mm.
the first time I'm hearing of it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wasn't this game like hyped up for a while?
It had a very mild press presence, but it was never really like. It wasn't exploding with like popularity or anything like
Oh,
that.
it's that game, right? Yeah, now I remember.
Mhm.
That,
It is a
wanted to be
game
done
that
so bad.
it absolutely exists.
It's the game of all time.
Hmm
Yeah, I remember there being like some hype behind this game.
hmm
It's like it'd be like, oh, it's gonna be a massive, it's gonna revolutionize the Souls genre.
Oh, that game.
You super cut out.
Oh.
That game. I
too
remember
remember
it now.
Yeah. I too
sure
remember this
are one
episode.
You sure are Wongi.
Hey, Orange, if you want, I could I'll go with you through the new patch stuff.
Sure, in a bit.
Let me draw.
I mean, I should probably take a little bit of a break from Assassin's Creed. I've been playing this most of the day.
Oh man, I need to take a break from gaming so I can do more gaming.
I need to play a different kind of video game.
It's that level of I've been playing this for so long. Let me go ahead and get something else just as a palate
Yeah,
cleanser.
Man, I want to play Marvel Rivals right now, but I know if I do that, I'm gonna struggle getting to sleep even more.
Oh, damn.
Man, I fucking love Marvel Rivals.
Marble
I wish
Bible.
Venom was different
Mar-
though. Venom feels weird in that game.
Your
Said
base is
Marb.
reminding me more of Spawn.
Mhm.
I mean, like, have you seen what like Bane's original mask looks like?
I will
Yeah,
take a
and
second.
I'm still getting a Spawn vibe. Spine Bob.
Hmm.
Spine Bob.
SpongeBob?
Spine Bob.
SpawnBob.
SpongeBob.
Actually, no, I'm pretty sure that's a thing already. Let me check.
Yeah, just like straight up Spawn without his thing. Actually, the muscles and everything remind me. Hey Orange, what did you think of that picture of Lee Han that I actually posted in the anime stuff about him having the fucking 8-pack of the century?
Yeah, that's that's a buff ass anime
Dude.
man. By God.
Yeah.
Dude even poses in the anime and he just outright just bam, Mr. Universe. Bam, come and get me.
Mhm.
The other thing I know about like that how big are your muscles anime was is that it's canon to Kengan Ashura. That's all I really know about it, and that's probably all I'll really care to know about it, to be completely blunt.
Mhm.
Which
Uh,
means that anime is also canon to Baki?
I would say it's like, I think how it works is I think the anime is going to be canon to Baki, while the manga's canon to Street Fighter, I think.
Streets. Do you think Yujiro could take on M. Bison?
I feel like the answer
No.
is. I feel like the answer for can Yujiro beat is usually yes, because he simply wills it to be so.
Yeah, here's the thing, even without the narrator, I decided to double check to get another person's opinion on the matter. So I went to YouTube to get it, as one does. And I heard someone's like, can Yujiro Hanma go against like a certain arc in like Jujutsu Kaisen? And the answer is yes, even without the narrator. Because Yujiro can dodge lightning before it strikes him. Yujiro could also tank lightning if it did hit him. Yujiro can stop an earthquake with his fist. Yujiro, his dad, Yuichiro, was able to survive his island getting nuked. And it has been said that most government weapons can't even dream to stand in comparison to Yujiro.
I mean, I've kind of accepted that this guy could absolutely kill a Space Marine, but the only people he wouldn't be able to kill would be like Superman and Goku.
It's like the laser eyes. It's like I haven't. Oh, Kryptonian. I haven't fought one of these in a while.
Heat vision. Ha! Amateur hour.
Duh.
A level of ridiculousness where if you go ahead and start with would Yujiro, somebody has to go ahead and say stop right there and walk away.
Yeah, you probably could.
Alright, here's a better one. How badly would Yujiro beat Homelander?
Oh, I can see
Pretty
it
readily.
probably quite easily, because the thing about Homelander is that he's hard carried by his super, like, strength. Like, that's the only reason why he's, like, powerful is because of his powers. Like, Yujiro not only has, like, is very powerful and fast, Yujiro knows
getting
how to
faster?
fight. Yujiro is one of those people where he can immediately master a martial art of any kind that he learns.
So would he just fold Homelander into a pretzel?
Probably. He'd probably tank a hit and probably bleed a little and then punch and then beat the shit out of Homelander.
And he'd still be wearing a smile on his face doing it.
Homelander tries lasering his eyes. I was like, ha! Amateur hour. Let me show you a real laser vision.
I mean, that's like the meme with him. It's like, I know, like, it's all seriousness is powerful, but I know it's funny. It's gotten to the point where people meme like he's like the anime equivalent of like Chuck Norris, or those old Chuck Norris memes.
Yeah.
Where it's like he gets like, like Mahito like does this curse technique where he like mutates his soul, and then Yujiro's like amateur hour and reforms back into himself, and then just destroys Mahito.
Oh my god.
Just folds him like a piece of paper.
That just uses the technique on
As a statement piece, he'd actually go ahead and just use his entire left pinky just to do it.
Ichiro's fucking nuts. He also what other thing? I forget what other things has Yujiro tanked.
Puppy.
Oh yeah, you hear him?
Yes.
He's going
Love him.
nuts.
Anyways, go on, AC.
Feats of strength. I'm looking up Yujiro Hanma feats of strength. Just to double check. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, there's that time where he just pulled the guy's face off with one hand.
As you do.
As one would.
He also killed a giant elephant, and this isn't just like a normal giant elephant. This is like essentially a kaiju elephant.
Has Baki defeated this guy at all?
Yujiro
Yes.
through if at the very end the anime got to there through a technicality in a fight.
Okay, so Yujiro can take on basically anything that isn't Superman. What can Baki take on? What's like the upper limit of Baki? What is he? Can he do all this stuff? Could he kill that elephant?
Baki can do like his own set of bullshit. He also has So how it started off is that there's a technique that many actual fighters will use called shadowboxing, where they'll imagine their opponent and their moveset and they'll train with their imagination. Baki was able to take this to a level to where the opponent he imagined was able to do damage to him and draw blood from him. And bruise him even.
Okay, but like, what can Baki like? Can Baki dodge lightning? Can he stop an earthquake? Like, what?
I am unsure about the earthquake, but he probably could, knowing his cockroach dash.
I mean, he did. I forget. Did he beat Pickle, or was that someone else?
I think he did. Maybe Pickle.
Who?
Pickle, he was a caveman who was alive during the dinosaurs, so he'd just go around hunting and eating dinosaurs.
And the
Oh.
reason why it's called Pickles because he was preserved like one.
Yeah. Yeah, hence the,
So are you saying the son has not surpassed the father?
Yeah,
the son, kinda,
depends on
sorta,
the
it's
argument.
tricky.
What was this technicality?
Because the father also gave the son a talk about sex in front of his wife.
That wasn't the fight. During the fight, I want to say, like,
I'm talking about just the regular bullshit that goes on in the lives of Baki.
Baki and Yujiro, they're having their big fight, and eventually, like, Yujiro was like, you know what? You beat me. I think you won. And then, like, even though they were both still, like, still
Standing.
conscious, and Baki barely was conscious.
So it
Also-
was a forfeit?
He won't say it's a forfeit.
Also,
Was he doing it just to make his son feel good?
no, oh no, he is not that kind of
No,
father.
no.
Durability,
Oh yeah, Orange, you know what's really funny?
strength.
What?
Oh,
On the FF14 subreddit, one of the top posts right now is, I feel so stupid of having guns, so Doomer over Black Mage changes.
Oh wow.
it could, scaling. He beats, there's a time where he was at 13 where he ate, like, teeth. It was able to chew on them. That was pretty tough.
I'm aware of the teeth.
It's funny because, like, Baki's feats of strength is how they skill characters are very inconsistent. Like, a character will lift, like, might do a fighting technique where they're able to, like, lift somebody off the ground. And it'll be the most, like, impressive shit ever, and then they'll break the sound barrier, and it's just casual.
Could Baki kill a space marine with his
That is
fists?
Question.
Probably.
With or without the armor?
Let's go without, because they're still crazy strong.
Oh,
They have like 2 hearts, they have multiple other organs, they have a healing factor, they're fast, they're smart.
they probably can. Though he, I will say,
Wait, the space marine can or the Baki can win?
Baki can win. Also, Baki's durable. He, was punched by an illusion of Yujiro so hard that he left, like, a large crater, and multiple blocks away thought there was an earthquake going on.
Is Baki like a normal human in this setting, or is it just, or like, are there normal humans and then there's the freaks?
Yeah.
He has the Hanma bloodline, but like, what makes somebody a freak or a quote-unquote normal human is not a line we really know outside of, like, the Hanma bloodline, and even then, there's people without Hanma blood that are just normal people who do crazy shit. Like,
Well,
Katsumi
you showed us that
Orochi
anime with
having
that
a-
guy.
having a punch that can break the sound barrier.
Yeah, so like you showed us that one anime movie, that dude that like snapped people's neck cords or whatever.
The optical nerve, yeah, Kosho
Yeah.
Shinogi.
Yeah, it's like, okay, that's a freak, but there are normal humans in the setting, right?
Yes.
With a normal amount of muscles. in the
Yeah,
right
yeah, oh yeah,
places.
they exist. They exist.
Like that guy in the phone booth.
Okay, now would one of these normal people look at Baki and think that magic is happening, or would they just go,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that's what a human can do. A human can do that."
Here's the thing. They would think it's magic at first, but then some random normal human will be like, "Ah, no, this is an elite warrior technique," and they're like, "Oh yeah, okay, normal people can do this. All right."
Okay, so it is within the suspension of disbelief of the characters, of the NPC characters themselves.
Yeah, they'll think it's crazy, but realistically, according to Baki's like setting, they could do it if they trained as hard as the main characters.
This is
Just
why
really
I put
hard.
Baki and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure on the same level of, if you're an ordinary person living in a world like this, you either have to understand the fundamentalities that your world is a fucking nut place.
I'm gonna be real,
or that
Con.
you are
I mean, that's a bit of a stretch, Con. Like,
I'm gonna be-
Con, like they are doing magic. Like they're doing actual magic in JoJo.
Also, I'm gonna be real, Con. When it comes to Bizarre, JoJo got nothing on Baki. Also,
That's the point.
oh, but also, like it is supposed to be like, even though it is like even though it's like even it is like magical bullshit in the world of Baki, it's explained as no, that's not magical. Even when they resurrect Miyamoto Musashi by making a clone and putting his soul into it.
What?
That's wild.
You heard him, Bum.
Yeah, they bring back Miyamoto Musashi in a clone. They make a clone body, and then they take his soul, and they get like a psychic to take his soul and put it in the clone.
They get a psychic?
Yeah, they put the soul in the clone. There's no magic system in Baki. There's no like.
It's just a thing that can happen.
It's just something that can
It's just
happen.
like that.
If I could go ahead and try to defenestrate my point here, I put them on the
Defenestrate.
same if I could go ahead and put my point here, I put them on the same shelf in terms of how far and how absurd and how outrageous and out of the box these plot lines and points are in both of the series. Not because of magic systems or anything like that, but just because of the sheer insanity that comes from it. In Baki, you have everything there, including raising Masashimoto, and like the fucking piss tetrahedron that I keep remembering you talking about.
It's actually kind of normal compared to everything else. I'm gonna be real.
Okay, then what about the pygmy who ends up going through and burying up through the dude and goes straight through his butt and up through his mouth?
What?
Oh, that's Gaia. That's only in the spin-off. Okay, so Gaia.
Count.
The thing about Gaia is that let me get different like game. Let me get it.
Balls to the
There we
wall,
go.
that's it. They're
But
both
Ga-
balls to the wall series in anime, that's
The
it.
thing about Gaia is that there's a soldier and he develops like dissociative identity disorder, or its old term, multiple personalities. But his second like alter, Gaia, is significantly more powerful than him and can tap into like deep martial arts bullshit. But also, he fights Baki, and the fight gets like intense in the anime, but in the manga, they don't mention this. But he strangles Baki to the point where Baki's soul leaves his body, and Baki can see has an out of body like experience. He can see his body from the eyes of his soul.
Bro switched
I
to third
see.
person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
This is never mentioned again. This is never brought up again. This just kind of happens.
Yeah, as it does.
Yeah. Also, also, I want to say, I don't know if it was before or after Gaia where Baki fights the Yeti.
Wasn't that it? Like, wasn't that like a flashback sequence?
That was around that time. But it's in the prequel art.
Balls to
There
the
it is.
wall, man, I'm
Here's the
telling
page.
Both series are balls to the wall, nut insanity that will just continue to escalate. And by the time you get so far in that you know you can't get out, you're just like, yeah, this is normal in this series at this point.
Did you say nut insanity? Oh,
I
did
said
you?
nothing but.
Oh, nothing but. I heard nut insanity.
You're high.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sorry, what's so funny?
About me, correcting, someone, so this is like, so why doesn't he
Maybe
grapple? And I'm like, he does! That's how he fucking won the
Oh,
the maximum tournament was through a grapple hold.
Hi.
Is it like a...
Fucking love balls to the walls series that just kind of go all out there. It's so great.
I learned how to grapple in elementary school. I did wrestling.
Really?
Yeah,
Uh,
for like 2 years.
Cool.
I can do a headlock.
I never learned anything like that.
I also was really shit at it in my second year. They had to put me up against the girls.
See, my schools, we never did anything like that.
But now I'm a big, strong man. But still extremely skinny.
Skinny people can be imposing as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna xylophone these ribs at you. It's my intimidation technique.
Just place shave and a haircut, 2 friends on your ribs.
Yeah, I'm just gonna xylophone my ribs and go.
my scissors, I'll wrap my, with my skinny technique, I'll wrap myself around you. You'll hear bones crack, and you'll be unsure if it's mine, yours, or both. It's like,
I mean, I learned Sama techniques so I can go ahead and use my opponent's weight against them, but it's only meant for self-defense.
It's like a beast thing. I can only wrap around you once. I'll die, but you'll be very uncomfortable.
What's
I
worse?
do feel my ribs breaking against yours.
What's worse than a bee sting?
Getting stabbed.
I was just gonna say 2 bee stings.
Oh.
What's
Yeah, what's
A
up?
knife. A
what's
bullet.
what's worse than 2 bee stings?
Many
9mm?
things.
A wasp sting?
9/11.
Yeah.
What's worse than 9/11?
A lot of
9/11
things.
too.
4 bee stings.
It's fucking stupid.
Apparently your sense of humor is worse than that.
No, shut up.
What's worse than 4 bee stings?
Bob!
Thank you.
The,
Muscle man, always rock it.
I was just go wholesale with go for its intended inclusion, which was the thing worse than 4 bee stings, the Great Leap Forward.
Oh.
Now, what's worse than the Great Leap Forward?
Now that's a choice. We're gonna get a good amount of Chinese comments with that one.
What's the Great Leap Forward?
It's whenever the Chinese Communist Party just killed a lot of their own people.
Well, what is worse than the Great Leap Forward?
My mom?
No, nothing's. What the fuck is wrong with you? Millions of people died.
I mean, I think the Holocaust was still pretty bad. I don't know.
I mean, the White Terror movement was pretty insane.
What's the White Terror movement? That sounds scary.
10 bee stings.
It was a period in time in Taiwan that was fueled by a lot of communist ideology. Essentially, you were encouraged to turn in people who weren't following along. A lot of people falsely accused.
Oh boy. I just wanted to
It's
make
a
a
very
a
turbulent
bit
time in
about something
history.
fucked up. I didn't want the full history lesson. I
Well,
get that that's my fault, but still.
This sounds like a lot of genocides. Like it sounds like stuff I would hear from
Well, it
like
was also
Serbia.
that moment in time was also heavy inspiration for Detention, if you remember that game from Red Candle.
No. Wait, is that the horror game? Is that a Chinese
Yeah.
one? Sounds. Is that the
Not
black and white
Chinese,
one?
Taiwan.
Is that the black and white one?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a cool
Yeah.
one.
Wait, is Bona actually high right now?
Yes,
Yeah.
I had multiple
You
small
said
chunks
this.
of
Are
weed
you
gummy.
high? No.
Are you high?
Hi.
Actually,
Uh,
honestly, I don't know why I'm surprised at this point.
You said it wrong.
You literally
Hi,
said
how are
it.
you?
You stated this at the beginning of the stream.
No, it's fine. Robot wasn't listening. It's fine.
I was doing something.
That's fine. Don't worry. I'm like only partially hearing words too. And that's also most of my life. ADHD makes it very hard to hear words.
Asperger's makes whole things very hard and difficult to understand, at least. I can hear and see everything, but trying to privatize and quarter the information in my head always turns into a process.
I call
Amateur
ADHD.
hour. Imagine
I-
having both.
I call ADHD just randomly going blind and deaf periodically at random points.
What should I know?
False. Gets gas poison. Lead poison.
Yeah, ADHD is also lead poisoning. It happens when your gas gets turned on and it starts leaking. This is why you buy a carbon monoxide detector.
What I'm also frustrated by is how most people just disregard those with my, you know, fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. For some fucking reason, everybody seems to think that those with Asperger's syndrome or high-functioning autism are killers or pedophiles or shit like that. What the
Oop.
fuck kind of standard are people going for here?
I have
I mean,
never.
Con,
I have
I have
never
not heard that.
I mean, Con, you're living in the American Southwest. Education. I'd be surprised if people could read down there.
Is Texas
say
the
that.
Southwest? Isn't Texas just south? Like, is it considered Southwest?
It's south.
It's just the
So-
South.
You
But
live in
the-
the
but the-
American South.
But the point is, I will say I think I agree with Robo of the I'd be shocked if people could read down there. But also I'm like, I've never heard any points like that. I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute, I'm in the north. I was
You're
lucky.
in the Midwest.
I was lucky enough to be born north.
Also, Roboot, you say that, but there are actually kids at a local elementary school who were moved on to 3rd grade who can't even write their own name.
That doesn't shock me.
It doesn't shock me in the slightest.
In the South? No way.
Like, after I heard that there was a shocking amount of people in this country that just straight up can't read and use a lot of, like, the accessibility features, like Texas speech, to actually learn. Like, I remember seeing a thing about, like, how a guy used Discord, but he couldn't read. He just used, like, the, you can highlight words and do text-to-speech. And that's how he did it. I also remember seeing like a Reddit post that was like a person talking about working retail in like the deep south and how just like some people that come by don't know how to read and they're like old people.
And that
Mhm.
surprises me even less.
I mean, those people could. These people were from a time where you could probably live without knowing how to.
I mean, you still can go without.
You still
Now it's
can,
like
evidently.
barely.
You would need to probably be living with your parents or something though.
I meant more of like independently. Like those motherfuckers can do it independently.
There's also like video tutorials on how to do things.
I think it's just safe to say that we're stupid.
Yeah, a lot of people are. I'm not. I'm smart.
I am a fucking
I'd-
genius. I'm a
I'd-
genius, and it's my biggest flaw because I have to share the world with mostly people who aren't geniuses. And
Oh, we're
insane.
such victims of the dumbs.
I mean, we kind of are, actually.
Breathing the same air.
I mean, listen,
Taking what's owed to me.
with my. I mean, listen. Most discriminatory violence is caused by dumb people. I'm just saying.
You know what? Yeah, we should kill the dumb people.
What?
Who's gonna
Yeah.
determine who's dumb? Me.
It's time. Yes, me. I'll do it.
There is
I'll
no
be
horrible.
the Justicar.
I will be the judge, jury, and executioner. There will be no horrible implications that will come from this.
There'll be nothing. This can't
There'll
go
be
wrong.
no repercussions whatsoever.
All the dumbs will be gone, and the smart people can pick up all the janitor work and the farming work. It'll be fine. We'll host it in little communes. We'll call it the Great Jump Forward.
Oh,
Oh no!
listen, we're not being that unsubtle about it.
I only know what I know, and what I don't know, I don't know. I will never say that I know something that I do not know about.
All right, you know
Unless-
what?
unless
Con
it
is
gets me a
convincing
good-
me.
Unless it
Con
gets me a
is-
good paying job, then I'm gonna totally lie about what I know.
Honestly, Khan is convincing me that perhaps we should kill the smart ones. I think they've had it good for too long.
What do you
And then
mean by
we
You
will
see,
be the only smart ones.
You see, the smart ones ask questions and shit. Like, dumb people go along.
Yeah, we should. You know what? We should kill the smart ones. Then we can
do
take
you mean
power
smart
as their gods. This is what Idiocracy taught me.
Oh, the eugenics movie?
Is there eugenics in Idiocracy?
Yeah. It's the whole it's the whole thing with like the underlying implication of things would be better if only the smart people got to reproducing faster. It's kind of so there's kind
Wait,
of
was that the actual message of the movie? Or was that like what they were doing, like in the
No.
setting?
it was what they were kind of saying in the setting. It was more I don't know if it was intentional, but it was there was definitely a bit of a eugenics there implication.
You know what? We should do eugenics. Okay, so if Idiocracy
Audience, keep
taught
in
me
mind-
anything through the words of AC, eugenics sounds pretty based.
Audience, keep in mind the bone is high.
I am high.
Keep in mind this is satire. No, Elon, I don't care if you're suddenly interested. Fuck you.
No, I think we're gonna actually get Elon as a subscriber because of this talk,
You
honestly.
can't. Oh yeah, well you can't spell
Uh.
felon without Elon.
True.
What do you mean by smart people always ask questions?
They know too much. They don't. They can
I
see
mean,
through
also-
the lies. They can't be allowed to live.
But also the literal thing of what I say. Like, let's just say like someone does
Just say it,
something
hypothetically.
incompetent. A smart person will be like, "Why did you do that? That's kind of
you stupid."
incompetent." A dumb person will be like, "All right, I guess we're doing it."
You see, a smart person would ask, "Hey, isn't it dumb to use Signal to share war plans? That sounds like a dumb idea."
Should we be talking about this on Twitch?
I don't
I
know,
need
do
to,
you
I-
care?
Only a little, but it's gotten very out of hand. And I remember there was a time earlier I tried the course correct, only for someone to say, "Let me finish," and drive further into the abyss. So
If
I
you-
don't know where I'm at this point, honestly.
Like,
I'm kind
I
of
don't know
shocked
how
Khan
much-
remembered we were streaming.
What do you mean?
When you doxed
When
yourself
I
that
s-
one time.
What?
What you mean?
I
How
don't
do you
know
not
if Khan's
know
ever
this?
actually full-on doxed herself, just been, like, much more comfortable with private information sharing than I
On
definitely would be.
stream. On stream, mainly. Good. That's a good drawing of Baki.
That is a good drawing of Baki.
Really is. That is fucking
The
solid,
only
man.
thing that's screwing with me is the pupils. They
It's
don't
a,
look like they're looking at the right way.
it's a sketch, it don't
Nah,
matter.
man. 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
no notes.
Flip the canvas. See if it
No, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you,
No,
fuck you, fuck
do
you,
it,
fuck
you
you, fuck you,
coward!
fuck you, fuck
Do
you,
it,
fuck
you
you,
coward
fuck you,
bitch!
fuck you.
Peer pressure, peer pressure, peer pressure!
I'm immune
Sorry,
to
what are we
peer pressure.
pressuring?
We're peer pressuring AC to flip the canvas. Do it,
Uh,
bitch!
Okay,
You're not the one in charge of the campaign.
go on.
Too bad
then.
I am here to peer pressure him, to help him
You're
improve.
high as fuck.
Yes, I am! And I'll do it again! Oh no, fuck you, bitch! Fuck you, you coward! See, I got him to practice drawing hands, so honestly, I win.
Oh, and it's extra bony too.
That's just skin, Con.
Ah,
My middle fingers actually are slightly crooked to like the well, left to
Crooked?
the left. Yeah, just slightly. I don't know if that's a normal thing. Maybe that's like a normal thing.
Oh my god. So what software is this, by the way? I
Clip
wanted to
Studio
ask.
Paint.
Oh, okay.
1. They are on
Wait.
Clip Studio Paint 4 right now.
Yeah, I think I use like 3 point something.
Yeah, look at you with your fancy numbers. I'm out here with 1 EX.
Hey,
Wait,
guys,
didn't you
know
just
that
say it was
double
4?
jointed?
No, I said I have 1. It's not. I said that I'm using 1, and they're on 4.
Oh, so you're using like an early version.
I'm using 1 because the upgrades cost more money.
I do not know which version of Clip Studio Paint I have. All I know is that I got it for super cheap because it was on sale.
Probably
do you have
1.
do you have an image of the UI? I'm curious if it looks like mine or his. Because
Oh.
ours looks significantly different from each other.
Oh, no, not right now, actually. I'd have to turn my computer on for that. And that's a
Oh,
whole process.
Well,
boy.
question, Con, does it look like his?
No, it does not.
Here, let me see what it looks like mine. I'm gonna take a picture of mine.
Okay.
I don't know what happened. Like, this is like how it just turned out for me. I guess maybe there's a button you picked in the process. I don't know.
Abomination.
So this is what mine looks like. You know, I do a bit of a custom layout, but you know, the icons are different, the colors are different. Does it look more like that?
Zoom in. No, mine does not look like this in the slightest.
Huh. And like not even the color is the same?
The color bar is over on the left, but...
No, I meant like the light gray of the UI.
Oh, no, it is not a light gray at all.
And it's not a dark gray either?
It's been a while since I've actually opened it up, because
like-
shit lately.
Because this is not the default layout. Like, I move things around to be more comfortable with me. So, it's probably not going to look like yours. But in terms of, like, the icon images and the color... I'm just curious how much overlap there was.
I can't remember, to be honest.
I fucking hate that these programs don't have, like, their version number in, like, the little top bit that says what program it is.
Window.
Yeah.
I
Like,
also
like
haven't been able-
Blender does. Blender will tell you what version it is.
And I also haven't been able to open my Clip Studio Paint program on my computer because my computer's been an ass lately.
I'm starting to wonder with Noir, should we just remake his like character image if he can't character profile if he can't get the computer working
Yeah.
for the Hunter
It's a lot
campaign?
more than mine. I feel sorry for the poor guy.
I'll help him through the process. I'll probably just help him remake his if Noir loses that information, I'll probably help him make a new character. Not a new character, but like help him remake
Remake.
his character.
His profile, yeah, or his character sheet.
His character sheet. Ask him how he'd want to spend the 7 points, or if he'd want to save the 7 points. So if we, after this next upcoming session,
What did
Uh,
you put yours into, Robu? Your points?
Occult.
I think I'm gonna put mine into insight. I want to read people better. Man, part of me really wants to try running a Wraith campaign, Wraith the Oblivion. As I've looked into it, it seems like a really cool setting. But man, the part about the ghost politics just did not seem that interesting to me. There's a lot of cool underworld shit in Wraith the Oblivion, but it's also not at all what I'd be looking for in a game where you play as a scary ghost. Funny enough, so AC, you know how the World of Darkness has the racist vampire game, the racist werewolf game, the racist gypsy game, right?
Romani game. Congratulations, you said a slur.
Oh, I'm sure they'll live. I don't think it's that. I don't think I had to say the G word. I think like the context is. I think the context is clear. It's like I'm not calling them that. It's like what it's actually called. It's called like gypsy something.
I will say also mainly because also for the people who for the more automated moderation, if you know what I mean.
Okay, fair enough. Anyway,
your dog is going nuts.
So they have that. So you know about all that, right, AC? Okay, so they also did a Wraith the Oblivion Holocaust concentration camp expansion.
Oh.
And it's actually wait, and it's apparently really well done and very respectful. The one that I'm not being sarcastic. I'm not.
Oh.
It's also post-Holocaust. Like this is the aftermath. Like I believe you are either playing as the Holocaust victims that died, or you're playing as like in the setting that has them as like part of the underworld political sphere thing going on. But it's apparently like I was kind of listening to a thing talk about it, a guy talk about it, and it seems very interesting. It's called Charnel Houses of Europe.
When's the 9/11 victim board game?
It wouldn't be Changeling.
Yeah.
Why would it be Changeling?
Because this 9/11 was actually a very significant event in the lore of Changeling.
Really?
Yep. There's an event that let out a bunch of dark glamour and dark energy called the Evanescence that was triggered by 9/11. I'm not joking.
That's a cool name. But I mean, Robert, the answer is just to beg AC to do a Wraith the Oblivion game. Or a Changeling game, I guess. Depends, AC, do you want to be the victims of 9/11? Do you want to do you want us to be the victims of 9/11? Do you think we can handle that in a respectful and nuanced way?
You guys probably can't. I don't know if I can.
You heard it here, audience.
Well, I'm gonna get canceled through my drawing stream.
Yeah.
For some reason, Gundam is just trending on Twitter, and I'm
Why is it trending? Click on the Gundam. What's going on?
It's probably because G-Cux started airing, and yes, it did.
What's it called?
Probably because G-Cux was announced or something, and it was announced.
Is G-Cux?
It's
people.
Okay, 3 people just said words. What, Robu?
That's what people just call it because it's easier than saying GQX.
Okay, wait, GQX? That's what it's called?
I fucking wish it was called. It was GQ, and then 5 U's, and then
Okay,
X.
I'm looking this shit up.
Bone, you don't have to. I'll post it right now.
Thank you, residential Gundam expert Robu.
Alright, let's look at this shit.
Post it.
Oh, that's a cute girl. Oh,
Yeah,
wow, they're going with these guys for the music.
Also, Suise's in there somewhere.
Oh.
Hi, Sui.
God, what song is that again? I've heard it a million times. What's it?
What song?
The song in the
Kenshi Yonezu, he sang Chainsaw Man's opening.
is it am I thinking Chainsaw Man?
Nope, yep, that's Kenshi Yonezu. He sang Kickback.
Okay, I had to move myself away from my bedroom window. There is hail coming in. Hooray!
Don't you have a screen door? I mean, don't you have a window
I
screen?
have a screen on the window.
Let
but I
the
don't have
weather in as nature
Leather?
as God intended. Let it heal inside of your room.
leather.
None of this matters.
Damn, Owl Man.
I was going for more of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force. It don't matter. None of this matters.
You actually seen that post of the like if the Animaniacs suddenly moved next door to Carl and the Aqua Teens just moved away and Carl's just on the phone with Prylock begging him to come back.
I'll watch more of that show.
You told Span Fry Man. Like when you guys explode me or cut me. I'm fine and shit. Even then. And then he just goes on and talks about how they dropped an anvil on his head and he just says that he just was flattened out and he thinks he's actually gonna die comparatively from the Animaniacs compared to how he kept exploding and shit with the Aqua Teens. It's like a meme or something I saw, but by God does that make so much sense.
Let me get it.
Oh,
Man, I would say like I know this. I don't know if this take will get me crucified or if people will agree with me super hard. But I'm like, whoever named that new Gundam anime should just lose their naming things privilege. I don't know.
Singer. It's from the Macadamia theme.
And also Chainsaw Man Bone.
Okay, yes, but like that specific song that was in that Gundam trailer, it was like it was triggering some very specific thing, and it wasn't the Chainsaw Man theme song. It was the My Hero Academia.
But also, I think whoever named that show should lose naming privileges like forever.
Hideaki Anno.
You know what? Have
Specifically-
you seen what they call the rebuilds? Yeah, he should fucking lose naming privileges.
It was specifically Peace Sign that reminded me of. Also, apparently he did Shinigami, which is a pretty good song.
Like, and it's like rebuild. It's like the final one, 3.0 plus 1. I'm like, shut the fuck up, dude. Like, shut the fuck up.
-5, Adrian's Revenge!
It's like, no, that'd be simpler. It's like, no, we can't call it 5. It has to be like 4.0 plus 1.0, Death of a Salesman, or some bullshit. And you'll never see a
salesman.
and you'll never see a single salesman inside the entire fucking thing.
Willy Loman deserves some respect.
I'm also reminded of Mobile Suit Gundam Maxi Boost On, or whatever the fuck that one video
That's
game.
that's the fighting game.
Did
Well,
I
not
get
fighting,
that
it's the
name
arena
right?
fighter. Yes.
Was there any additional?
No.
Oh,
Is that the
okay.
one with Big Sam?
Let me look up
Okay.
rebuild names. Okay, there's 1.0, you're not alone. Okay, I get that.
That's
I
a
get
cool name.
I get it. And then it's like... no, hang on, that can't be right. I need to look up... let me look this up on Wiki. 2.0, you cannot advance, you know, pretty
That's
simple.
cool.
I get it, I get that. I can live with that, that's alright. 3.0, you cannot redo. I get
Yeah.
that. Okay, do what the fourth one's called.
What's the fourth one called?
A normal person would call it 4.0, but it is instead Evangelion 3.0 plus 1.0 thrice upon a time. Fuck you, Ano.
Oh, yeah!
Oh my god, I've never seen AC get this heated.
I need to fucking look this up my fucking self.
I'm honestly not a fan of Evangelion, so I don't give a shit.
I think it's pretty cool, but I'm just mad at this fucking stupid ass naming convention. I swear to God.
Is he stupid?
It's like
I mean, if
it's
you wanna
like
get
Gundam
serious, go watch Sky.
GQ. One,
Just
two,
call it
three,
G
four.
Cucks.
I'll call it GQ. I need to say it one time as I'm reading it.
Wait,
GQ. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 U's and then an like. Fuck off. Fuck
Okay, wait,
off.
so I'm looking at a list, and I'm seeing, like, after Thrice Upon a Time, I'm seeing another thing that says, like, Evangelion 3.0, 120 minutes. And I see a thing that says Evangelion 3.0, 46 hours? What?
Oh, there's okay. So for context, at the end of each rebuild, there was a teaser for the next one, and there was a teaser at the end of 3.0, and that teaser covers a version of the movie that got scrapped, like unreleased, never seen the light of day. You'll
Okay.
never see that version that they teased ever. And so the movie they made after it, completely different one from the one they teased. And I think I think it was called 46 hours or some shit.
Okay, wait. Evangelion 3.0, 46 hours is an original video animation included as a bonus feature with the DVD and Blu-ray release of Evangelion Thrice Upon Time in 2023, the 2-year anniversary of the film's initial theatrical release. It was announced on October whatever, included on a separate disc together with the video re-release of the anime short, which was Evangelion 3.0, 120 minute. What? Okay. So it was like extra content?
I think I never watched the extra content and stuff. I don't think. I could be wrong. I could have seen it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not the guy to ask about the extra stuff.
Hey, you guys want a feel-good story?
I'm kind of locking in on drawing Daredevil, a character known for his Catholic guilt. So right now I'm kind of locking in at the moment. But I also need to get more word out about these dumb-ass naming conventions.
Okay, wait, is it not 46 hours? It says 46H. I assume that meant hours.
It don't matter. None of that shit matters. I'm sorry for like the Evangelion name fans. The people who are fans of the naming conventions. I don't think you exist. But like, oh my, that naming convention, that shit's a problem. Like that is a.
I wouldn't even say that's inherently a problem with the whole convention, just that specific one.
Also, like, I'm still mad at how. I don't know why, but there's just something about that Gundam name that just drives me insane. Looking
Yeah,
at
we talking about G-Cucks?
Oh,
we
wait.
were talking about G-Cucks, and we're talking about whoever named that should lose their naming privileges, and then Robu told me it was Ano, and then I went to look up the rebuilds, and then I was all like, okay, yeah,
buddy.
1.0,
So-
I get it. 2.0, I get it. 3.0, I get it. And I'm like, 3.0 plus 1.0, thrice upon a time. I'm like, go fuck yourself, Ano. Fuck you.
Okay,
Fuck
so-
you.
I think I figured out why it says 46 hours. I guess there's like a prequel thing that takes place like 46 hours before the main story.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure out why one of them said like Evangelion 3.0 minus 46 hours.
Never let bro cook again.
It's they do 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. They had a good thing going here, but no, you and your dumbass naming conventions and your
You had to
you had
blow
to
it up.
blow it all up. You had this naming convention 1.0, 2.0. It all ran like
It was perfect.
clockwork. It was perfect, but no.
I'm just over here thinking, wow, I really don't get into Evangelion as much as these guys, so I have no idea.
I love Evangelion. It's my favorite thing ever.
I don't-
Me being like that. Those movies were pretty good, and I liked I like them. I don't ever. I think Hideki Anno should be banned from naming things.
I think I mean, it might not have even been him that named it. It might have been like,
After fucking the G-Cucks, I doubt that.
Anyway, but shit, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I had it. It's gone. It's gone
It'll
for
come
now.
back to you, man. It'll come back to you.
Whoever one of Sane's strongest like generals, whoever the fuck names Hideki Anno properties. Those names, I don't know what it is, but like I feel like with his like the Thrice Upon a Time, I thought it was kind of dumb, but something about G-Cucks just made me like snap a little bit. I don't know what it is. It just drives me insane.
You're fucking.
Something
your
inside
sleeper-
of me just snapped.
Your sleeper agent trigger.
It was like something inside me had changed.
GQ UUUUUUU X.
That
you
fucking
ever
fraud in
realize
his
that-
dumbass naming conventions, I swear to God.
Do you ever get hyper aware of how your arm is connected to your body and you think, how does this make autonomous? And then you realize, it's kind of weird.
No.
You know what I think is weird about bodies and arms and legs and shit? The fact that horse legs are anatomically closer to the fingers than legs.
Yeah, no, I can believe
Oh,
that.
it's weird.
Shout out
Okay.
to my irrational fear that my leg is just gonna disintegrate while I'm walking around, and then I'll just like fall over and hurt myself really badly.
For me,
I don't know.
my fear is like anything happening to my right hand, my drawing hand. Because at that rate, I'm like, it's pretty much over.
Yeah, I don't know why, but for the past 2 days, I've been like hyper aware of my arm. I don't like it. I'm scared.
I like having my I like having my arms, and I like being aware of their existence and all the weird intricacies and how my forearm bone twists whenever I move turn my arm around, because it doesn't turn at the wrist, it turns at the forearm. Something that a lot of 3D modelers get wrong for some reason. It's a very common thing. In fact, let me show you right now an example. Now, okay, the right arm is supposed, your hand turns at the forearm, but for some reason, for a lot of 3D models, they make it turn at the wrist. Here's why that doesn't look too great.
Yeah, because then it just kind of does that weird thing where it just looks like it's just twisting it up like it's the ends of a tube of toothpaste or something.
Tube.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah, and then you have to rotate the mannequin, and then you realize, nope, it's just twisting the muscles in the arm. It's making it look like you're actually just twisting something. Muscles don't work like that.
Yeah, it's like, it's weird. It's like muscles and shit. It's like...
Man, stop jerking your shit.
I don't know why, but I've just been like obsessed with this like clip I got recommended of like Schlatt getting a donation where it's like, and now to relieve myself, and they got the text-to-speech bot to moan like he was jerking off. It was like off. They got the breaths in there too. And he's like, it's jerking off.
Hold on, where's this clip?
I'll probably post it after I'm finished drawing like the inner workings of the wrappings on Mr. Daredevil over here.
John
Oh, I think
Devil.
I found it.
Seriously though, dude, you could really do a good pulp action comic or something with this art style, dog.
Oh, thank you.
Who up pulping they fiction?
Actually, this.
Meanwhile, for some reason, all I can do is just draw cute.
Granted, I mean, I
You've
guess
done
that.
good horror.
Here's the thing. I guess like it also like depends on where you where you wanted to learn. Did you draw a lot of like cute stuff when you were starting out and like had that almost as like a goal of sorts?
I mean,
Yes.
Con, have you ever
Yeah.
tried doing like a comic character?
No, not really.
You should try. You should try drawing a Spawn or a Spider-Man.
You're probably a lot better at it than you realize, but also at the same time, this is I've practiced this specific styling of stuff because this is I like drawing what I find cool, and
I've-
you can kind of tell with how I draw, how I use hatch. Even though in Baki they don't use hatching shading at all, I implemented it here in this sketch because that's the kind of shading that I'm used to, and that's why there's almost like a weird, almost Western comic edge to it, kind of.
Watch Con turn out to be the second coming of McFarlane.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I mean, that's gonna be tough. I'm like here, but still.
Yeah, man, he's right here.
God, I want to see you draw Spawn or you Spider-Man.
It's like, yeah, watch
Really?
this person be the
Yeah.
second coming of Christ. I'm like, the second coming of Christ, but Christ, but he's still here. I'm right here.
Oh my god.
Do you believe in your own hype that much? I am.
You know,
I am Jesus! I am Jesus!
I have never actually drawn a Marvel character before.
You should try your Spawn. I feel like you would do a good McFarlane character.
I don't know. There's a good chance I could end up doing something stupid.
So
What's the? I was like, what's the?
great.
I was like,
Just draw Jeff.
listen.
You
Like-
saw what happened when we tried to draw Freddy in fucking.
Who?
Remember whenever I gave you guys that challenge, the drawing thing, when I made my own D&D style thing with it, where I had to
No.
roll the dice and we did the. Well, you should know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
The
I
The
actually.
challenge I told you about.
Oh yeah, I think I actually do remember what you're talking about. I can actually go get
Was I not there?
it was in a text, it was text channel only. It was like, oh, draw stuff and like here's a dice roll thing. You roll dice, you have to draw this thing in a style. I drew Hellraiser in Hanna-Barbera style, and because it looked the Hanna-Barbera art style reminded me of something, I drew another character to go along with him. Here is that drawing.
Oh, I remember seeing that.
I don't. When I saw the Hanna-Barbera like Hellraiser, I'm like he kind of gives me the vibes of an Aqua Teen Hunger Force character. So I plopped him next to Carl to enter because he has such sights to show the man.
So, Khan, did you do this challenge?
Yeah, I
What'd you
ended
draw?
up having to do Freddy in JoJo style.
Which Freddy?
Bruguer.
Krueger? Oh, okay.
Krueger.
Do you still have that? I'm curious what it looked like.
I should still have the photo. Yeah, give me just one moment. Just gotta
Uh.
peruse the entirety of my files over here because fuck me, man. I have a lot of files to go through on this.
Man,
Oh, a lot of photos to go through this. Hang on, this will be a hot minute.
Freddy Kluger, who grooms minors.
oh no.
Up, found it.
Oh, cool.
Also,
Here it is.
there was
That's pretty cool still.
You have no idea how hard it is to go ahead and get hands drawn.
I mean, yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
It looks like a Yosified Freddy.
yeah
I
it
mean, you
does.
didn't-
Yeah,
What-
that's
what are-
JoJo, baby.
I mean,
Jo-
if Freddy didn't look Yasified in a JoJo art style, I would argue you were almost doing it wrong.
I mean, Khan, did you use references?
Yeah, so use references.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks fun. Which part? Which JoJo part is that referencing?
Well, wait.
It looks like he used Dio. As the reference
Because the
point.
JoJo parts have different styles.
I just looked at a bunch of his work and I started looking at Freddy and then I just said, fuck it, I'll go with this pose.
Because part 1 doesn't look like part 2, which kind of looks like part 3. Then part 4 is like starts to go a different direction. Part 5 is whenever they go fully like whenever they start getting yassified.
Also, Also, I tried a little something, and I meant to like probably even do a little bit on here a bit more often, but a while ago, a Guilty Gear Venom drop returned various characters in the ball into a sphere, and it'd be a little outline depending on the character. There's a blank version, so I colored it in with one slight altercation to one of alteration to one of
Why
them.
do you have him in there if he's not in there?
Because he's invincible, Con.
It's funny that I kind of went like a little bit further in too with it.
I like Bridget's single tooth.
I wonder if people could tell who this is just from like the weird fucked up like mouth part alone.
Oh, that's cool. Is that
It's Cecil.
Oh, that's Cecil. Yeah, that's right. I see.
It's very weird hearing people say that name and not referencing my cat.
Also, I tried doing some of more other characters. I meant that I forgot that this was going to be the original stream idea, was making more like various original stuff in this. Maybe even having the hunters in their like ball form. What that would look like, but these were the only two I got around.
Blood Hunters?
The ones from our campaign.
Oh, neat.
They turned me into a fucking ball.
Ideas that.
So something I thought was interesting. So whenever I was listening to a bunch of McFarlane interviews. What's his name again? First name again?
Todd
McFarlane,
McFarlane,
right.
creator of Spawn. That's his
Yes.
full name.
I was listening to some interviews from with Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn. And Todd McFarlane, creator of Spawn, was saying how whenever he would draw Spider-Man. What?
You keep calling him that.
That's
No,
how he
it's-
calls
He created
himself.
Spawn.
It's like a pimp named Slipback. You gotta always say his full name.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
Anyway,
Lucius.
and he was talking about how whenever he was doing his Spider-Man run, how he didn't care at all about anatomy. And so he has Spider-Man doing all these cool dynamic poses that don't make sense anatomically. And so whenever he started up his toy line, like the sculptor people were like, "Hey, how do we do this? Like, how do we make him bend this way in a way that looks good from other angles?" And so they had to work that out.
And then Todd told him to go fuck
I mean,
himself.
they
No,
also
Todd was
this,
cool.
this problem came up way later in the Raimi films because the CG department wanted to reference Todd's pose, but they
Oh, yeah, that
realized
too.
that very quickly.
Why?
Yeah, I actually forgot about that part, but yeah, you mentioned that.
Mm.
Nutty.
Me when I'm thinking about the professors that I prefer the most.
Which version? This
I don't know.
This is that movie had like a 90s reboot, which reminds me of this. There's a canned 90s movie reboot of a movie called Mr. Limpet. The original is there's a guy who's obsessed with fish, and he wishes that he can be important, and so he's turned into a fish, and then he helps the U.S. military like bomb Nazi submarines. And he falls in love with a fish woman named Ladyfish. So, the people in the 90s are like, let's reboot this shit. Let's get Jim Carrey. And instead of having the fish segments being charming hand-drawn, we're gonna make it CG, and we're going to Seaman Jim Carrey's face on a fish.
What is this again?
The Mr. Limpet reboot that never came out.
Mr. Limpet?
Mr. Limpet.
Mr. Limpet.
I'll get it on Clip Studio Paint really quickly. They found test footage eventually Here's what the fucking reboot was gonna look like.
Oh, I don't like that.
Damn, you weren't kidding. That is Seaman.
I mean, if it helps, well, neither did any of the people working on it. It was an executive decision, and all of the people working on the CG were like, I fucking hate this thing. If I caught this, one of them said, and I quote, if I caught this while fishing, I would stomp it to death.
So I
For
found.
anyone who doesn't know, this is an image, or at least a GIF from Mr. Limpet.
That's
The
what the
original
original
Mr.
one
Limpet.
looks like.
This
the
is what the
proje-
original Mr. Limpet looks like. That one is not what it looks like. Take a look at the GIF I posted.
The progenitus of Limpet.
Also, I found an example of Seth MacFarlane not caring too much about anatomy whenever you actually think about how Spider-Man's legs are bending here.
It's almost like an extra yoga pad.
What? What, the Spider-Man or the pencil? Or the fish?
Fucking face! Oh my god!
Oh,
I think it's the face.
yeah, I think it's the fish.
I think it's Seaman Jim Carrey.
I actually thought Khan posted the fish at first.
Stop! No more!
This, like,
These images will forever haunt the corners. of
God,
my
how do you
mind.
think the people who worked on the CG feel about that shit? Who were mandated by their CEO. Put Jim Carrey's face on a fish. I don't care how it looks. You need to have the synergy. Put his face on a CG fish. Fuck you.
Try not to get scared. Scariest Jim
story.
Carrey's.
Jim Carrey stories.
No. Let me finish my thought.
Jim
Let me finish my
Carrey
thought.
stories.
Is this how people felt when they put Seal's image on that actual Seal for the Super Bowl commercial?
Living Jim Carreyously.
This is just getting the same vibe, but
Eh,
not that Seal, not that Seal. Why am I getting images and gifs of Winnie the Pooh leaving his body?
What? Kingdom Hearts?
No, I
that's
typed
it,
in
it's
the
what
word S-
happens when he
I typed in
listens.
Seal like SEEL, and for some reason I'm getting the gifs of Winnie the Pooh's soul leaving his body.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts.
I have no idea anymore, man.
Hey,
Kingdom Hearts.
Simple as Khan.
This
Don't
is
lie.
like this. It's like this.
Simple
It's
S has
like
been
this.
fucking ruined for me. Anytime I hear it, my brain is like, just don't like 'em. Simple S.
This is exactly what this reminds me of, and I am incredibly amazed that we wrapped around for this.
I am incredibly aroused.
Mr.
Full of
Limpet,
all
when
that
he
is
saw a
holy, stop
fucking fish.
pounding me.
For a second, that artwork of Jim Carrey as a fish, I thought it was Obama.
I thought it was like a racist caricature of a Chinese person before I realized it was Jim Carrey when I first saw
Yeah,
it.
that's Jim Carrey.
I know that now.
That's Jim Carrey.
I know it's
Yeah,
Jim
it's got the
Carrey.
cheese and something in the nose and everything.
You might not think that's Jim Carrey, but that's Jim Carrey. Who up jimming their carries? I'll stop.
It's the
Alright,
weirdest
so-
idea of human face on X is the weirdest / funniest thing ever.
So I'm
Thomas the
looking at
Tank
the
Engine.
footage. Sorry, I'm looking at the footage right now, and it doesn't look as bad in motion. It still looks pretty bad.
Oh my god, you actually went and looked it up.
Yeah, I
Man, I
was
could have seen.
curious.
I mean, I could have seen that coming. I could have told you that shit for free.
You had to skim through this video a bit.
You don't sound like you're doing too hot, man.
I am good. I'm good right now.
Eh?
I'm not in another dimension, but I am good.
Not even a distant planet. Stuck on a whole different planet.
I mixed up like a indica gummy and a bit of a hybrid gummy, so I don't know if that's.
Wait,
doing
you
it.
took more gummy?
Oh, I mean,
God
I took.
damn,
I
dude,
mean, I
think you might
took.
be addicted.
No, I took the initial gummy.
Uh,
But it was like a.
I see.
But it was like a mix. It's like small chunks. It's like just very tiny, like pinches. I'm trying. I still gotta renew the card, so I'm trying to go like small.
Also, apparently, there was good after this failed. They tried to do another one, but it was like a DreamWorks one that looked normal and it had Zach Galifianakis. It actually looked not too bad, but I'm like,
I don't want to see that.
but actually no, it's like there was gonna be like a DreamWorks thing. There was no CG faces. Like it actually.
No human, like, realistic faces.
It's just the levels of slowly somehow they ended up turning that into what would become Shark Tale.
I think that studio worked on Shark Tale, so I think this
That
has.
explains it.
Yeah, so I think them or like some of the CG did. I remember hearing people say that like some of this tech got inherited to it. But if this movie ever came out, a part of me wishes, even though it'd be very detrimental to several careers, a part of me wishes it would be the Jim Carrey version because that would be funny. I'm
Oh
sure
my
Doug
God.
Walker would have fucking screamed to the heavens at this movie if it came out.
Lost every marble out of the jar and smashed it into pieces.
Did you see Shark Tales? Wait,
I
what was
did, but I don't
Okay.
remember any of it because I was young as shit when I first saw it.
that? Okay, like, cause I keep on trying to think, like, okay, me and you aren't too far apart in years, but it's enough that makes me question, like, okay, how much did you get that I got? Because everything I got was like reruns, like it was shows at the tail end of their life.
Oh yeah, I got like BTAS, all that. I got Dragon Ball Z, and that changed the trajectory of my life like forever. And I remember I really liked Thomas the like, Tank Engine as a little kid, and then I watched like Dragon Ball like Z for the first time. And I'm like, what the fuck was I doing watching this Thomas the Tank Engine shit? This was right here my entire what the fuck?
Well, that was the autism. The autism made
Yeah, I
you
was
like
gonna-
the trains.
You see, first I watched Thomas the Tank Engine, then I got an autism diagnosis.
And then, well, no, it was reverse order. I got it like fucking immediately. Like
Oh, and then they put on Thomas the Tank Engine for you.
they did. It was like the early 2000s. They didn't know the stereotype yet.
See, I also got Thomas the Tank Engine.
But here's the thing: the moment I saw like Dragon Ball, I was like, what the fuck was I doing watching this Thomas the Tank Engine shit? This is like the best thing ever. What the?
I still don't know if I have the autism because like I got like whenever I went to like my psychiatrist like 2 visits ago, I saw like on the paper she gave me autism and I'm like, wait, why? Because I didn't tell them anything new. Like, I really didn't tell them anything new because like the prior times I had shown up, I didn't have that on the piece of paper they gave me. I'm like, what the hell changed?
I mean, unironically, I think they just built autism diagnoses are a thing that is like a case that's built up around like you and how you talk and how you act around them for like an extended period of time.
Maybe.
So it's just that it's a thing they were just sitting on for like a minute.
I'll have to ask. I've also done like those, I get that these aren't like actual tests, but I have done like a couple of those like autism tests on the internet and they never really came back positive.
I'm just imagining it's like you're talking to your therapist, like, yeah, I'm just going through some of my problems, but life's going good. It's like we can't seem to get a diagnosis on this guy. It's like, yeah, I'm excited to go paint my Warhammer miniatures, and like their heads start perk up, and they're like,
Oh.
holy shit, we got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The moment you talked about your fucking miniature painting, that's what got the autism diagnosis written down. They saw that and like the light bulb being like, Eureka!
And I was formally diagnosed back whenever I was still in middle school, so I had already developed sort of I guess the best way to put it is I felt like I was different from everyone, but the difference wasn't inherent, at least until I got older.
That's
Then
the thing.
when I started asking questions to my parents about why I was so different and why I acted the way I did, that was when they decided to go ahead and get me tested and everything.
That's like the thing is like everybody talks about, oh yeah, I got diagnosed later, but like a part of me has like a trouble comprehending that because like I have literally known I've had this my entire life, my whole lifespan, every single memory I've had, like that, and I'm like, it's hard to comprehend somebody going without knowing, you know?
From what I researched, like ADHD seems to have a lot of like overlapping symptoms with autism. Like hyperfixation is an ADHD thing, and
Yep.
these other things. But it's like then it goes into like the other things. Like, well, I'm not really that sensitive to sound. Like, yeah, there's a lot of voices going on. It'll get annoying. But yeah, and then there's like there were a few other things I forget. But it's like I don't really know if I have these other things.
I used to be
See, I got the fucking sound sensitivity. My ass cannot handle loud noises.
I
For me,
used to
it's
be
certain
really
noises.
bad about that.
Mhm.
Like it was to the point where like I couldn't like the drawing like using a pencil to write like messed with me, and it was like it gave me these like terrible goosebumps hearing like an unsharpened pencil on paper, on like print paper, and it got to the point where I had to use like erasable pens and shit because it was just that much.
I know there were. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I also had it was also to the point where I had like earplugs on the ready for any loud ass noises to come my way.
Sorry,
There
if you have more.
are certain noises that I could just not handle, or some that would just make me snap and just lose my mind in anger.
For me, it's less of like anger. It was more of like it like kind of like hurt. Like I needed to duck and cover. Like fire. Like here's the thing: fire alarms would be like actively dangerous because it would impede my escape. Deadass. That's how it was. It's like, yeah, they let you know there's a
Yeesh.
fire, but I'm like, if with fire alarms and the way that they are, with how loud they are, they're actively detrimental for me escaping danger. It's not as bad now. But yeah.
I know whenever I was like back in high school and I was taking Concerta for like as meds, ADHD meds, I was taking on like 3 hours of sleep every day for years. I got really irritable a lot, and I remember there was this one dude that would like drum on his desk, you know, with his hands. Teachers would never stop him. He would keep on doing it. Now I think like now I look back and it's like, okay, he probably was like had something going on with him too. But I would repeatedly ask him to stop drumming on the desk because it was irritating the fuck out of me. And then one day I just kind of threw a calculator case near him. I didn't throw it directly at him. I wasn't lurking to hurt him, but I just couldn't stand it anymore, and I just threw like the case of a calculator across the room. But that's like the only time like I could think I like actually got like serious with the sound thing. But at the same time, that was going on for like the entire year. This guy drumming at his desk, and it irritating the. Yeah, I think it was like he had his own like or whatever, and it's like you know stimming maybe, I don't know. Also, he did actually like play the drums, so it's like, you know, he probably had muscle memory going on. I don't think he was doing it to be a dick.
I'll admit, I've actually had moments where,
But also,
even as a teen, yeah, I'll admit, I've actually had a few shit moments as a teen, especially with other friends, where
I
I've
mean,
just
who the fuck
blown
hasn't?
up.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I always hated it whenever my anger got the better of me. Because as a kid and as a teenager, I didn't know how to properly express those emotions and actually just say shit. So I'd always hold those feelings in, and by the time I'd actually say what I wanted to say, or anything like that, it would be really bad. Or I would just say shit that I would mean, say shit I didn't know what I meant, or just outright yell at people. And thank fuck, I actually have friends and family and even teachers back then who actually understood what the fuck I was talking about. Thank you, God.
But I
Also,
do remember one specific incident in the anime club. Yes, I was an anime club. Fuck you. Where I overheard our club president saying something that I had misinterpreted as him asking his grandparents to buy porn for him.
oh, how do you misinterpret that? What the fuck?
Because I was not listening fully intently.
Apparently.
So I took his jacket. No, I took my jacket and I slapped him with it. And the moment it happened, I just had this whole cold ice body feeling of, oh my fuck, what have I done?
I mean, it's his
Yeah.
family. It's his family. Like, if he wants to ask his grandparents to buy porn, you know, if they're
Who are
chill
you
like
to
that.
judge?
Oh, actually, I would judge the grandparents. Don't buy your kids porn, but or your grandkids porn. But still,
Yeah, that shit's on the internet. They can get it for free. Don't buy it.
honestly, slap the grandparents, not the dude.
No, I slapped him with my jacket with the zipper out and everything.
Okay, I mean, I doubt the zipper did that much pain.
No, but
they're
it
very
also
painful.
showed me that even in those sorts of moments, I just noticed you're fucking drawing Jim Carrey as a fish.
Anyways,
So
go on,
Mr.
go on.
Limpet.
So I left the library and I said, I know I'm sorry, can't fix this. I started crying immediately the moment I left the library and then went and turned myself into the principal.
I doubt that he was even hurt by this thing.
It was more along the lines of, I have no idea what the fuck happened or why I actually executed on that. But I just immediately started bawling and I was so guilty and racked with everything possible from being so angry at him and myself that I just admitted everything to the principal. She heard me out. I actually talked to my parents about it that very night. The next day I apologized profusely, dozens of messages on Facebook. Then I realized I have a very, very intense conscience and a very intense anger that if I am prone to snap, I will hurt somebody. And that alone scares the ever-living crap out of me.
I mean, if this was
See,
just the
my
code, I
parents-
think that this guy probably came out more fine than you did.
Also, I mean,
Like, I
What-
think you went overboard with, like, your guilt.
no, my thing is like, can you point me to a teenager who has their shit figured out emotionally? Because like that's a unicorn, you know?
Yeah, most adults don't have their fucking emotions figured out.
Even the neurotypical
It's true.
ones.
Like,
Also,
I got punched in the back of the head and I just took it.
Still,
but my final point is my ass would never turn myself in for anything I did. If no one knows, that's gonna stay no one knowing.
Yeah, fuck it, don't get caught.
I'm like, if I'm not getting caught, I'm not gonna rat. I don't care how guilty I feel. I don't care.
Oh, I realized that day that even if I tried to do something like that, there is no way my conscience or any part of my body would allow me to even keep going that route.
Sean, did you even hurt this guy?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
He
Well,
he
so,
forgave
well, he was
me,
just
and then
like,
I figured
damn.
out he forgave me, and we actually had a nice talk about this. Apparently, his grandpa had misunderstood him whenever he was talking about anime, and his grandfather accidentally bought him porn.
Oh, the good old Ninja Scroll. I think it's Ninja Scroll.
It actually was Ninja Scroll.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think my final drawing for this stream will be Mr. Limpet because I started an hour later. I decided to go a little later, but here is my stream wallpaper. What do you guys?
Man,
What?
It looks
Seriously, You
sick.
should really consider drawing a Pulp Fiction like comic or something.
I
dude.
was
You-
drawing a comic, but it was more. But I probably should lean more into the comic-y elements. But at the time I was drawing it, it looked a lot more like I would almost say anime-esque with its style. Like this was a character from it.
wait, AC, what would the drawing of Batman look like without his ears?
Midnighter.
Oh, apparently Ninja Scrolls was also an influence on The Matrix.
Yeah, you never knew that.
No.
Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of shit influenced the Matrix.
I guess my only thing is like I would want to make this little weird back thing a lot wider, but this like stomach skinnier and taller, so it'd look a little more fucked up.
Maybe
Well,
make his
Venom-
hips a little wider.
I mean, he's supposed to be like super skinny to be juxtaposition to the super ripped Batman.
Is it the actual absolute thing, like a building compared to Batman's brick?
Oh yeah, for sure. He is like a fucking tank almost. Yeah, I think this will be the stream. I started later, so I streamed later. So that's probably it for now. I'll probably post this on socials, with the artwork on socials, wherever I post stuff. You know, my Blue Sky. I think the most reliable places for my artwork is Blue Sky and Newgrounds. I go by AC Denton on both of them. For more specifics, Newgrounds, I am the real AC Denton, 0 spaces, and on Blue Sky, it's just AC Denton. It's the AC Denton with spaces.
Nice.
But yeah. This will be my drawing. I'll end the stream here. Hope to catch hopefully we didn't do Hunter last week because one of our players Dwar had PC issues.
One of our Noir's PC is currently fighting him tooth and nail, so we might get that. He might get it figured out this week. It might get figured out next week. No fucking clue.
Worst case scenario, we can just probably rebuild the character sheet.
I think one of the other problems is he doesn't have access to his microphone and stuff.
I mean, you can use his phone. It's probably good quality.
Yeah. Honestly, at this rate, I would take the phone mic if it meant continuing.
You like worst case scenario, like double worst case scenario, like AC could probably look at the like character sheet if it's more convenient and just kind of like text out, okay, your stat is this.
Yeah. I
or
think
do
like,
the dice rolls for him.
I think what would happen, worst case scenario, is that I think you can still do dice rolls on the phone, but I think worst case scenario, we'll remake the character sheet, and I'll help. I would help him out, but also he's somebody who gets like such this intricate knowledge of like rules and like rule books and tabletop that like I wouldn't be shocked if he was able to rebuild the character again with no problems.
Yeah, the main thing with the dice rolling is that I imagine it'd be kind of annoying to deal with through like the phone keyboard.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I was gonna say really quickly, not to be a little bit of a spoil sport, but frankly, I think his computer's so Bjork, he'd probably just have to make a new fucking thing anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I think at this point, the only thing that'll fix his fucking PC is a full reset.
Also, his character didn't level up yet, so remaking him, easy street. I can help, and it'll be like nothing ever happened, you know? Hopefully Hunter this Thursday. Hopefully, I'm hoping. But
otherwise, IDK will play Repo or something.
I should get that.
So I've been playing it because I was gifted it from a friend.
This is the new Lethal Company Among Us, right?
Not Among Us, more Lethal Company. It has like a fizz gun. It's complicated, but before I explain that, I'll end
I meant
the stream.
in terms of streamer bait, the new streamer bait hotness.
Yeah. But that'd probably be it for this stream. Glad that you guys stopped by for this little weird little drawing sesh. See ya.